How are we all doing, Skywatchers? We've just come off the back of one of our deep dives, haven't we? But it's a clear night tonight. So it looks like we are going to be doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch there tonight. Coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. Do help us spot the strange and anomalous flying around up there. The tracker has a few targets, keeps losing them, but we need that blue to go. That is the last bit of daylight. And when that passes, we're going to see more stars, more moving objects, more contrast. It's going to be easier for those tracking to work properly then. And we're going to see lots of strange things. So do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Ask away any questions that you might have there. And yeah, let's see if we're going to have a happier spotting of strange things in the sky there. We got in. Harco is already in there. Scooby is in too. Short focus. Well, good to see you there. And another new set of dots today. Yes, the Department of War, the new files dropped. So we're going to be doing, guys, another deep dive tomorrow before the stream like we did tonight. We're going to be looking we're going to be looking at the new releases, going through them all with you guys in real time. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, either join the members or Patreon. The Patreon has a free trial of a month there. You should be able to join us for that one if you haven't already. But speaking of which, so Paul, thank you for gifting another membership. Very kind of you there. Kevin, you've got that one. Say thank you to Paul for that. But you'll be able to join us tomorrow night as we're going through the fresh release from the Department of War. There, it's going to be really interesting. I'll leave for you going for a ciggy. I wish I could there. Doodle is in. How are you? Neon Gaming as well there. Jane is in too, and Harco's back. Oh, where's the question? Where's the missing couple of messages there? It's a little bit warmer than it says what the weather is here, but yeah, it is cooling down a little bit here, but it's due to go back up, so you can hear me complain about that one next week. Okay, the question is it cloudy, Scooby? No, we're all good here tonight, luckily, as well there. Scooby as well, coming in, feeding Alan, and Dordle as well there. Appreciate the gifts, guys. The gifts, the subs, the members, all that jazz does go back into the stream. Carl is in, Jane is in, Paul there. Just watched some of the 5th UAP drops. Only one impressed me, but not seeing them all. So yeah, I've got to admit, out of all of what was coming, I'm not as impressed I'd like. The 3rd drop was better than I expected, but the 4th, so the 5th, we'll have to see how it goes, but you'll be able to join us, guys, for that one over on the Patreon of the members there. I think it'll be 8 PM at UK time, then we'll be doing our Skywatch just after there. And is it Jason Zena there? Hello, so I'm lovely clear skies, and I'm on the telescope now until tomorrow afternoon there. A few deep sky objects, and then the planet hunts in the early AM, Saturn, Mars, and the Moon. If you get any good shots, we want to see them there, Jace. That would be absolutely awesome there. Hey, Tickers, how are you doing there? Been a while. They're currently on a campsite in Suffolk with clear skies. Well, Suffolk, a very strange place there. Keep an eye out. You never know there, Tickers, for those. How are you both doing camping away there? And Hargo, you're over on the TikTok as well. Stacey is in there. And X, TikTok is weird there. I'm blocked from tapping, but have not even tapped today. TikTok is such a weird platform. So sorry, guys, the TikTokers we weren't on last night. We were on, but TikTok wouldn't have it there. Harco as well coming in with the gifts. Thank you for those. So it all goes back into the stream, helping us improve what we're doing. But if you are just joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch there tonight. So we're looking out for weird objects flying around in the night skies here, live over the skies of Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. Plenty of strange stuff in these skies over the years. Harco coming in with the shares. Thank you for that. It is the likes of the shares, the tapping away, all of that jazz that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we get on the phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. You never know who's going to come in and what experience that they are going to share with us. Let me turn up the brightness a touch, because as that daylight goes, let me turn it up here. As the daylight goes, we're going to have to increase our brightness there. Look, some of those distant stars now popping out. There we go. Look, there's a few more. Hopefully that should help the track out there with some more anomalies in the night sky. And we're good there, halfway to the big family barbecue there. We'll say hello to everyone for us on those ones. Halfway. That was a long old drive to just be halfway. In my head though, because I thought you were going to say halfway through a family size bag of Cadbury's Heroes or whatever they are, knowing you guys there. And Matty, how are you doing? Good to see you there. As well there. I hope V behaved on the tubes. Oh, V couldn't get on the tubes, so we missed out last night. Hopefully she'll be in tonight there. Baseman, how are you doing there? And live venturing on the live section again. Lethal, TikTok does not like us. We've offended them, so I'm not surprised at all. It's a shame, but, you know, it has to be what it has to be there. And Lethal as well, coming in with the shares. Dawdle coming in with the shares too. Appreciate that one. And Jace coming in with the gifts. Massive appreciation for those ones. They feed Alan.
Nom, nom, nom. Thanks, guys.
It all helps us. You know, currently we're saving up to take the show on the road, guys. We want to kick off our UK UFO hotspot tour. At the minute, we do the local areas, the local UFO hotspots, all these old Iron Age hill forts where the classic Skywatchers from back in the 60s and 70s would have all of their sightings and experiences. We do those locally, but said we're saving up so we can take the show on the road properly and do all the UK hotspots. So Rendlesham Forest, the site of the 80s landing / crash or whatever that was, just outside the US Air Base. We want to do a live Skywatch from there, and then many other places. And we're getting quite close. We said we just got a bit of kit that we didn't think we'd ever be able to get. They've got a very good price, and that's going to not only allow us to be more reliable and stable on those on locations, better quality, but it allows us to bring in more extra camera feeds, so we're going to be able to make that probably a better experience than the one here when we've got the full mission control. And I didn't see any videos. That knocked my socks off. Still got to go over the files there. Scooby, it's a shame, isn't it? There, we want the Roswell bodies there. Adam coming in with the gifts there and the shares. Appreciate those. We want the Roswell bodies. It feels like for me that if we're trying to be generous with the White House at the minute, maybe they're trying, but they're coming against all the brick walls everybody else comes to. You know, they're being stonewalled there, and if we're not being generous, maybe they just are giving it a half attempt there. And Zach Horst, how are you doing there? I didn't see the shite since a week there. Crazy. The slow atmosphere entering glowing things. It's not happening anymore, but let's hunt them. You know what? We haven't seen many shooting stars. Last night it did start to kick off, but it's been a while before that, I think. There, and Neon there, did you watch the new files? I haven't yet, Neon, so we're going to be doing them tomorrow as one of our members and Patreon deep dives. So we'll watch them in real time with you guys, go through them all, see what you think. So if you haven't seen them yet and that sounds like your cup of tea, you can join us by signing up. We've got a free month if you use the link in our bio for that one. Yeah, we go through it with you guys in real time and see what you think and see what I think as well. So I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be 8 p.m. Tomorrow UK time, and then bang on for this for everybody at 10 p.m. there. Adam is in, getting to you there. And Jane, why are some of us in red and blue on the Starship Alan? So good question there. So it depends. There's basically, it's like crew ranking, like on Star Trek. So the red shirts are the risky ones, the ones that, you know, so they're the free members. Basically, if you're on the free for the Patreon, you get the red. If you're on the paid tiers, you get the blue. And if you link your Discord, you get the ping. I think also you can change your room and stuff like that. So there's like a little distinction like that at the minute. It's already there, Lethal. And EGPF, how are you doing tonight? Laura, that's good to see you in there. And plus, we're up against GTI there. Oh, TikTok's Golden Boys. Oh, I mean, no chance, have we? No chance from there. We do need a roadie tickers. We 100% do need a roadie for those. And Kate, how are you doing as well? Harko coming in with the extra gifts. Thank you for those. Indigo there, evening all. What new UFO files are being mentioned here? So this is part of the drops that you might have heard of coming out from the US. So it's very cool because the White House, the government, the US government is officially taking it very seriously. And they're releasing all of this, the unknown. They're brand new part of the Department of War website, you know, so it's a very serious matter. And yeah, they're releasing, you know, the easier stuff at the minute of what they've got. So the idea is they're saying they're going to release everything, but you know how these things go. Are they actually? Are they going to be able to? Do they even know what they all have? There's good arguments to say that, you know, the US government really isn't just one defined thing, keeps secrets from itself, but it's a good start, the way that they're talking about it in serious language. Good use of the grid, guys, you know, that we're starting to get some releases. So I'm not expecting the Roswell bodies straight away. I think it's not just for us who are really keen on the subject and we've read it all. I think we're going to have to wait a little bit of time. That is an awful track from that one there. Let me just move the little cursor here. Let's see if we can touch the settings on the tracker. So yeah, I think they've kind of got to get everybody up to speed there with the people that disbelieve it, the people whose worldviews don't allow for this to exist. You can't just slam it all on the desk. You kind of need to ease them in a bit. So if we're being fair, that might be what's happening. But we're going to be watching them through with all of you guys. Then Kate is in over on the tops as well. DJ, how are you and the family doing? You can see you there. And the Van Louis on board catering services, the shower and the toilet facilities. Honestly, Tickers, you know, I'm eyeing up the van there, and I think that's a nice little kit there. Might need a vinyl wrap of Alan But I'm sure that you and Lamorgues there would not have a problem with the rest of the time, you know, sporting a bright green UFO mobile as you're on your campsites there. What would the Caravan Club think? Joseph, how are you doing tonight? And EGPF there, how are you there? And this bloody Cole, haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? Good to see you, man. And A3 lethal good spotting. Now, guys, if you do see something the tracker hasn't picked up, like this one here, and if it has picked it up and I'm not paying enough attention to it, oh, it got it in the end, kind of, you can call out the grid reference like A2, for example, or something like that, and the system will pick it up and highlight the grid, drawing my eye and your eyes to it as well. There might be a bit of a delay, so it's probably best to pick the box you think it's going to be in next, basically, if it's a moving object, and then it should align correctly. Loaded Discord, but I had no idea what I was doing, so you deleted it. Joseph, that was exactly me the first time I did it there, so I can relate to that one. Thank you for trying. It isn't for everyone, but it took me, it literally was doing this stream and having you guys on there forced me to use it. I had it for work for about 4 years, and I just avoided it. So it can be definitely a bit overwhelming there. But the very principle, guys, if you do want to join it, lots of cool personal experiences being shared, all the latest UFO news and all that sort of jazz. It is up there as well, link in bio for that one. But it's basically like a messaging app cut across one of the old school forums. So they have, you join our, I think our server, they call it, so the thing server, and within that there are separate channels which are just subsections. So we've got the personal experiences channel, and it's like an old full message board. You type it in there into the channel and you can scroll up, read the old ones, add your comments to it and all that sort of stuff. And statical there, me and my kids saw a blue orb in broad daylight there, just floated over us. Jesus, that is a daylight as well. Like, how high, like, was it close enough to kind of see if there was any texture to it? That is an amazing sign. How big? I've got so many questions. Thank you for sharing that one. That is pretty cool. There, has anybody else seen anything like that? The orbs, myself, I do think are really, really interesting. I think there's a few, I think we're close to getting the explanation for them. Now, it may not be that all of the orbs are necessarily extraterrestrial, the traditional argument for all of this, but it might be that they are their own form of sentient life that's been with us here the whole time on Earth. There is a good argument to be made, even from mainstream science. A lot of official government reports came to the conclusion that we need to search into this more, because it looks like certain types of plasma can be you know, sentient, or it's looking as if it's displaying behaviours as such there. And Nata as well, thank you for the follow there, and Duncan too, good to have you guys on board. Where are you joining us in from tonight? That was a good one. Yeah, guys, if you had your own experience, we'd love to hear about that one too, whilst we're waiting for the action to happen on the screen there. Cool. So I turn blue once I start paying for it. Basically, it's just a distinction thing there. The only reason that we have it on there is mainly because you have to, we've each tier, as it brings in the members, it just distinguishes the tiers. That's how it brings in the data, so you have to just pick a colour for them. As well there, Gaza, good evening as well, good to see you there. And where are we? Down here. And Ed, they are dropping loads of generic rubbish that can be explained away easily there. The governments have a nothing alien. So Ed, that's a bit of a generalisation. I think they are dropping a lot of generic stuff. I would totally agree with you there. But there's not things there that cannot be explained. There's a lot of things in there which are interesting and very, very, I think they pose a good question. Like, we're definitely seeing what I thought was interesting was daylight shots. It wasn't just the infrared gun camera with no points of references. We actually had daytime shots for that sort of stuff. We've also got stuff where you're seeing these orbs display movement next to known objects like airliners and things like that, which gives us the scale, it gives us the speed, it gives us all of those reference points. But one of the most interesting ones I saw, which was, I thought, oh, this is interesting, was it was a collection of these orb-looking things. So it was the infrared night vision camera. They were flying around near a surfaced submarine, basically, and then you're watching them fly around various things, and then they appeared to go into the water there, the trans medium display of that one. So that is something that I don't think there still might be a mainstream explanation, but it really does push it there. So there is within it some interesting things. And be warned, my kettle is broken, so I can't drink tea. So you're on the side. Oh no, X. You can have a drink. It's the evening. We'll allow it there. Outlander, how are you doing there? And DJ, we're all good there. Arlo is doing good. And thanks there. And can't see him until Monday. Oh, that's got to be really, really, really tough there. Oh, man. But I'm glad he is doing well. You'll get through it all, guys. And there, absolutely. And Alan Bonnet decal. I'm thinking, have you seen, Tickers, the... oh, God, what was it? What was that film where they had the car that was dressed up like a dog? what was that one? They made us watch it in school millions of times. Never saw the ending of it. First hour 1,000 times. Oh, lots of activity with the grid tonight. I'm thinking like a full-on like that, you know. We'll make it look like a UFO. Grandmaster, how are you doing tonight there? Wayfind is in. A good spot in there. X as well. 2D2. I don't know what the grid's going to make of that. And is your left eye, or is it my left eye? What's that one? What's that one? And first 5k, well done guys, appreciate that. It is the likes, the shares and all that tapping away and all that jazz that really does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. The more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. You never know who's going to come in and what experience they're going to share, and we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight there. We're looking for objects like this in the night sky, but we need to see it do something strange. Sorry, there it is again, lost the tracking. We need to see it stop dead, move off at speed, change its course or trajectory, because that will tell us for sure that it is something slightly more anomalous. Man-made objects can't behave like that, so if we're seeing that behaviour, then we know for sure that it is highly, highly strange. Do keep your eyes peeled. We're going to call out that movement there. It's a bit of a hunt. It's not going to be all of them, because there's a lot of man-made objects up there. But yeah, keep your eyes there. Harko as well, Joseph, and coming in with a gift. Thank you guys, appreciated. X got filtered. What? Oh no, and Lethal going to change my name on the tubes and making friends there, and my right eye is playing up, so I'm only firing on one eye there, Joseph. Oh no. And Mr. Money, how are you doing there? Last night the tube wasn't good at all there. What was that for? There's lots of ads over on the tube. But it's better than the TikTok, because TikTok is an awful platform that just is so inconsistent and does not work and tends to break equipment. I am so end my tether with it there. Sadly. And lethal in. But yeah, we should be consistent there. Now it is working. Touch wood. We'll be here as well. But guys, if you want to make sure you catch us on the road, that's when we do the on locations, there's a good chance that TikTok just won't have that for us. It doesn't seem to be reliable at all for those, so you want to make sure you're following us on the tube. I think it's the better screen experience for it, like that. It is just the ads. It's a bloody
nightmare. It's not as bad as Twitch though. Oh my god, Twitch was ridiculous for ads. And where are we there? Okay. Oh no, you're having a chat there as well. Oh, a giant blue ball there spotted. And evening, Captain. How are you doing, Blue Nose? And Statics, oh, it was smooth, and I thought it was a balloon, but it was way too high and fast for a balloon. Interesting as well. Like, God, to have those experiences in daylight as well. I mean, we get to see some really strange movement, and that's one thing. But when you're out there with it as well, what did your kids think of it when you were with it there? That's awesome. Thank you for sharing it. Alright, show there. I hope we get some semblance of steady soon. Oh, you would hope. And Neo there as well. Good evening. Have you heard of rods? Oh, what's rods? I might have, but you got to tell me. Yeah, tell me a bit more on that one there. As well. Tracy coming in with the follows. Where are you joining us from tonight? Guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from tonight there. Ask away any questions that you may have. There's no silly questions here at all. Maybe it's what we're doing, why we're doing it, or how we're doing it. And if you've had an experience of the phenomena, we would absolutely love to hear about that whilst we're waiting for the action on screen. Let me turn up the brightness again. As that coloration goes, that is the last bit of daylight that we're seeing there coming in. The lens is picking up. As the sun goes around, it's going to get darker. You can see more colours, more contrast. It's going to be awesome there. Saw a lightning strike about 20 feet away then. I think my pants are, Joseph, 100%. We had some very close by lightning when we were doing a Skywatch a few months ago now. And like everybody on the we're going, now we're looking at the map, the lightning is nowhere near you. And I'm looking out my window going, it does look quite close. Ooh. Anyway, so I go, right, I'm going to go outside and have a look. And like the last shot of the stream was the lightning bolt in like, you know, just in front of us in the garden. It wasn't quite 20 feet, probably a mile still, but I'm like, that was too close for me. So yeah, that would do it as well there. And silent and no wind on that day as well. And ooh, another little point towards it there. So the silence, the idea that there is no, you know, audible means of propulsion is one of the observables. Strange movement and speed can be observables as well, associated to UFOs. But we have to remember as well, it's not just the sound of the engine. You know, we like one of our fossil fuel engines exploding all the time there makes a sound, doesn't it? We have modern technology, batteries and electric motors and stuff. They are pretty quiet, but the actual displacement of the air still creates sound. We haven't quite figured that one out as a technology there. Helen is in as well, and O is in. How are you there? Raf as well, how are you doing? Exactly, Tickers. That is what we're doing. Trying to raise it up for tourism. Grandmaster there. The question the government pose is, what am I doing with my life? I mean, sometimes. But this is the thing, you know, we have been waiting for so long for official confirmation. I think the frustration is understandable, but we don't want to spoil it for ourselves, do we? By throwing too much out of the way there. A little progress is something. We should still push for more. We shouldn't take it for granted. And where are we? Down there. And we find there, what is going on with Lou Elizondo? He seems to be getting targeted by the Men in Black or the government to discredit him. I don't know with Lou. Like, I've heard that Lou's a part of the problem for other people, and I don't know anymore. I really don't know. But if he is genuine, and then he would pose a threat to those organisations, wouldn't he? And it would make sense that just like everybody else that's reported it, that he would be possibly a target of such things. They've definitely over the years done their best to quiet people talking about it. Good spot in there, guys. One can down there, X. Can have a crown for something. And oh, Dumb and Dumber, because that was it. Yes, it was Dumb and Dumber, and that's what we're going to do to the camper van. But for Alan, we put his little antennae on the roof and his little towel on the back of it, like that. Stu's in as well. Good to see you there. Herbie. Oh God, Herbie. God, that takes me back there. Dumb and Dumber DJ as well. Spot on. I couldn't remember it. Yeah. Media studies never taught us anything. They just go put the film on for the hour of the lesson. So I have seen Forrest Gump, Dumb and Dumber. Oh, that's a blue one coming in here. And there's a couple of others. I've just never seen past an hour. I've seen the first hour about 50 times. Why the hell? That is absolutely ridiculous, that track there. Oh, it's definitely... I'm going to have to turn up the movement distance here. Let me put that one on, see if that one sorts it out a little bit there. But look how bright that one is. Now, brightness is interesting. It looks cool, but it isn't necessarily anomalous. So we can pay more attention to it. We can appreciate it. But that is not necessarily giving us any information to say that it is a UFO. Doesn't mean it isn't. Just means it's not giving us that information. Just Eat Chips, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you've been well. Did you see the video of the fireball? I don't think I did, Joseph. Did you tag us in it? Because that's probably the only way I'll catch you there. And Paul there. Long time there. Hope was we're all good there. How are you doing, Paul? Good to see you in. You picked a good night. The sky is lovely and it is active tonight. So, yeah, we're going to have a good run. And the missus is away. She's at a hen do. So, we might even be able to stay on a bit longer. Plus, it's not a school night. So, let's see how the evening takes us, guy. Hopefully, we can do a lot of searching for the strange and anomalous. And Amanda's watching from work. Do they allow that? You've got to put us on the big screen, Amanda. And Ghostbusters meets Independence Day. What was that? Oh, yes. Oh, for the vehicle. Yes, it does. Yeah. DJ coming in with the shares. Thank you for that, DJ. Guys, it is the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that sort of stuff there. That helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. And with the more eyes and minds on the phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. You never know who's going to come in and what they're going to share. But if you are just joining us, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. Coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So a long history of strange and anomalous things in the skies. We're looking for these objects that we're tracking. We're looking for them to stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory, because that will tell us for sure if it is man-made or if it is anomalous there. But we're on pretty much every night, and with the clear skies that we're getting at the minute, it's a lot of sky watches, so make sure you're following, subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are. Cloudy nights, though, we do this, the alien radio signal hunt there. We search the hydrogen line, like the film Contact, listening out, hoping to hear ET say hello. It's where the whale signal is heard as well. Mr. as well, coming in with the follows. Appreciate that. Where are you coming from tonight? If it's moon's up and I can be bothered, we do a moon watch. It's been a while. But yeah, it looks like that. We see strange things there as well. So hopefully you'll get those notifications when we go live for them. But yeah, so we're doing our Sky Watch tonight there. Ask away any questions. Let us know who you're watching from. I'm reading through the chat. I'm a few minutes behind, but I will catch up and get to your messages there. The film you described sounded like Titanic. How are you doing, Rich, as well? Oh, good spot in there using the interactive grid. Again, if you're new here, guys, you spot something the tracker hasn't seen and other people haven't seen, type the grid reference in to the chat and the box will highlight, drawing my attention to it and hopefully everybody else in the chat there. And Kay Everdeen, how are you doing there? My experience is in Washington's Puget Sound, is that how I pronounce it? They're very interesting. Could you tell us what sort of experience was it? I'd love to hear about that. AFC is in. We're all good. How are you doing tonight? Who said the tubes is no good? I can't remember now. Who was it earlier? It'll come back to me. Strawberry and lime cider is sweet. Oh my god, the sweet ones they are. They really are, all the flavoured ones. How's the integrated chat? So far, Kate, it's going all right. Some of my little notifications around gifts and things aren't as working as much as possible. In fact, I'm just going to try and make some notes to fix that, to tweak those nows. There we go. Let me have a quick cough. Yeah, we'll see how that's going. But yeah, so far it's all right. Apple and pear next. You're doing the tasting session there, and John there. Do satellites collide? They can do. They I think maybe once or twice, and they're really worried about it because they're getting so many more of them up there in the night sky. That is becoming a really big risk, and they call it Kessler syndrome. The idea that one satellite hits another satellite, breaks into 1,000 pieces. Those 1,000 pieces all hit a couple of other satellites there, and then basically this snowball effect that just turns it all, like a sea of speeding bullets flying around in orbit around the Earth, and it'll prevent us from getting access to to space, basically, from anywhere from 10 to 100 years. They're really worried about that as well, so they're doing their best to not. So a lot of adjustments there. And bam, visit to hear our songs about Warminster there, Cradle Hill and Skywatching. What's that one? Visit to hear our songs. What are the songs? I want to hear the songs because, yeah, we are coming to you from Warminster, Cradle Hill as well, and all that sort of stuff. It's not was it the band? Is it CE5 is the band? That rings a bell. Yeah, visit where? Point us in the direction. And AFC can currently see a sky over Clay Hill from my bedroom window there, resting my knee from surgery. AFC, I'm wondering how you're getting on. So, did that all go well? Good, that's done and out of the way. Keep an eye over the skies of Clay Hill, very active there. And the flying rods, the long stick things with wings done down the side of them. You mean planes? There was something, the rods from God is ringing a bell there. Good spot in there, Harco. Where are we? Over on here. Mr. Money coming in with the gifts. I think I did miss that one. Joseph as well. Let me just check if that did get registered and I didn't see it. No, I did, Mr. Money. Yeah, there. Sorry. I appreciate those guys. So all the gifts, subs, the patrons and members, all that jazz does go back into the stream there. Help us improve what we are doing. In fact, we're doing another deep dive tomorrow. So members and patrons, remember, we're going to be just before the main stream at 8 p.m. We're going to be doing our deep dive into the latest drop of files from the US government there for the UFO releases. All those videos, watching them through and hearing your opinions in real time. And if that sounds like your cup of tea, there is a free trial of the Patreon with a link in bio there. Trading cards is in as well. Neo there. All bar-like objects that are only picked up through video cameras, really fast and split. So that is interesting. I think somebody was talking about this the other night. So my first thought is if it's video cameras, there is an issue with capturing light in a frame. We sometimes see it with the objects here. So if that object moves within the time of that frame being taken, it will draw a line on it. So maybe there's something like that. Doesn't mean there's nothing to it, especially if you're not seeing them at all with any other device. It could be that they're capturing something, but maybe the line part of it itself indicates that it's something moving at speed. That could be quite interesting. Oh, good spot in there. Kate as well. And second creatures like dragonfly is possible. Anything moving at speed. No planes at 30,000 kilometers around Warminster. Good spot in there, Harco, so we can bring up our radar. We can just double check, guys. Is there any planes in the local area? So we do get a sighting. We can confirm it. There is one there to the southwest. Now, that inner ring, that direct inner ring, is where we really need to be paying attention to. That's our visible bit tonight. There. Ben feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you for that one, Ben. Appreciate it. All goes back into the stream. That is a delay. What is the delay on it? How long do you reckon that is? And AFC there, DJ had no, I had the large cyst. That was it. Yeah. Oh my God, very very complicated. But how is it? How's the recovery going to go? I mean, it's only early days, isn't it? There. And does anyone know how fast electricity travels at? And if alien life forces could piggyback on it? Oh, good question. I imagine if it's uninterrupted. I mean, it depends on its conduit, doesn't it? But, you know, is it light speed? I don't know. Carl, they're coming in with the gifts too. Massive appreciation, helping us getting close to our on-location live UFO hotspot tour. Our media studies was a joke. That was the main reason I picked that school, Mr. Money, was because in their little brochure, it showed all the cameras. And I'm like, that looks like a bit of me. We got to use them for about half an hour on the first lesson in year 10, and then that was it. Lots of Starlink up there, you're right, Harko. And K, 94 to 97 there, many experiences with up to 5 crafts, link up and disappear, and hyperspace there before the mountain. Really interesting there. Was there any particular formation to the craft? Because this is something I'm really interested in. Oh, there's a new one there.
Zoom mode activated.
Look how bright that one is. That is very, very cool. But not tracked as well, which is frustrating for the damn tracker. Anyway, but yeah, so the formation, because of recent studies on how a warp drive would work, this is real science done by real theoretical physicists and things like that. You know, warp drive, wormholes, they're perfectly feasible. You just need a lot of energy, so we can't actually test it ourselves. We don't have the energy, but in theory, we know how to do it. So they're looking into how that would work, how it looks, and, you know, how we would perceive it and things like that. And part of it would be that if craft are using them, triangular formations and diamond formations would amplify the effect of the warp drive. So, you know, if they were in formation, they could kind of band together for a bigger effect. I wonder if that's something you may have observed. Could you see any shape to the craft, or was it lights in the skies? I love that one. And hurry as well, there is the Falkirk Triangle, a UFO hotspot. It is, yeah. So Bonnie Bridge, that whole area around there, part of Scotland, long history of sightings around there, and it is on our list of UK hotspots to do. In fact, where's my t-shirt? Guys, we're doing a special t-shirt to help get us there a little bit more, so it all goes into it. There it goes. So it's the map of the UK, if you can see it there, with it's reversed obviously for the camera, and there's a big crease on it. Hold on, there we go. See all the locations with all the things, cryptids and spooky stuff as well, of what they're known for. And then on the back we have got the tour locations. There's 13 at the minute, and we have missed off a couple of interesting ones. We'll probably end up doing more. But Scotland, we've got Loch Ness, Calvine, Deckmont Law, which is in the Falkirk Triangle thing, the Falkirk Triangle, Bronny Bridge, the North, Ilkley Moor, Pendle Hill, Todmorden, Midlands and Wales, Cannock Chase, Berwyn Mountains and Broadhaven, South and Southeast, Rendlesham Forest, Clay Hill and Bodmin Moor. I think we probably want to add Dartmoor and, what's the one? We always talk about it on the Yorkshire coast. There's another one there that we are wanting to do as well. And in fact, I think we've got somebody on our merch showcase. So there we go. If you have a look through, guys, if you do decide to purchase, link in bio, one of the merch items there, helping us get the show on the road, post a picture of it, yourself in it, on the merch showcase section of the Discord. We can bring you up here and see you all there in it as well. See your faces on the screen there. And I'm waiting for you guys to go on holiday and have pictures in front of the pyramids and stuff in them there. So that's what we're waiting for, guys. There we go. There's the tour shirt. Boom. But yeah, that is a hotspot apparently. And bam, they're seen the blue movers a few times there, high altitude military jets. So, and yeah, until it is possible, it is possible. The blue one we just saw a minute ago was most likely Starlink, because we're starting to see more of them, and it kind of fits this release of, I think it's the next generation Starlink satellite. There's something to do with their solar panels and a coating on it and stuff like that. AFC coming in there, feeding Alan. Thank you for that. But yeah, it's fitting that criteria for that one. But, you know, until these objects, you know, what we're seeing tonight, until they stop dead, move off at speed, change their course or trajectory, like this one here, see, if it just has a steady line at a consistent speed, we can't say that that is anything other than a man-made satellite there. It's not giving us any evidence the otherwise. Doesn't mean it 100% is, it just means we can't say it's anomalous until it displays that behaviour. Why is this tracker going crazy? Yeah, we are, yeah, we can't say it is doing anything, and you can't say it's anything strange until it does it. Until it stops dead, moves off at speed, changes its course or trajectory. It's just taking the piss now, isn't it? Look. With some of those tracks. But yeah, so keep an eye out. That is what we need to see. So yeah, the high altitude jets are definitely a possibility for that. But yeah, if we see the movement, if we see it acting strange, then there is very, very little Very, very little to explain that in the man-made category. Let's zoom in on this big, beautiful one here. This is Vega, a star 26 light years-ish away from us here. It burns hotter and brighter and much bigger than our sun. I think somebody said 300 times the diameter of our sun, which is crazy. That's why we can see it so big there. It won't last as long there. And where did we get to over on here? On the chat there. And Rafa there, was it, my God, the fruit pastel ice lollies are banging. I used to love those. I haven't had one in years. I'm going to have to get one tomorrow now. Where are we down here? And Mr. This is my kind of vibe. Sorry it's taken me so long to get you in the chat. I'm just so far behind the messages. But yeah, welcome in. I warn you, we're on pretty much every night. So you'll end up finding yourself in here a lot. We're getting people now passing their 1 year anniversary milestone now, so it's very, very clingy, guys, you know, but you're all welcome in. Where in the world are you joining us from there, mister? There, Wayfind as well. Did the moon ring like a bell this time with the Falcon 9 crash, and was it deliberate? So I think the crash was not, I don't think it was one of the planned ones, it just kind of lined up, but did it ring like a bell? That is a question that I have, because that is one of the anomalies of the moon. Its density causes some very weird effects, and I think we asked that. I don't know if they've still got any of the seismographs on the moon that are working now. If they do, then they would have, I imagine, detected it. But we'll probably have to wait 5 years for the scientists to actually bother to come out with a paper there. And I want to see some aliens there, mister. Us too. If you hang around long enough, we do see some strange things. Now, a lot of the time we can't say that it's aliens necessarily, but what we can do is we can definitely call them UFOs. So,
mode activated.
Again, if we see this object stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory at these sorts of altitudes that we're monitoring here, there is no explanation for that. No man-made or organic things. Now, is it ET? Is it waving as he goes by, or is it something else that we just haven't thought of yet? Don't know. Essentially, don't know. Yeah, but I mean, if you answering or explaining all of the other things out of the way, what else are we left with there? You would, but they've got the sports on. This is technically a sport. You know, we can get a score box up, can't we? And squishies do the ice lollies. Man. Stephen coming in with a super chat. Thank you very much. It's very, very generous of you. Much appreciated. It all goes back into the stream there. First time catching you live there. And have you found anything like a UFO or UAP? As I say, the first time watching, so forgive the stupid question. It's not a stupid question at all. It's a very common question, and I think quite rightly asked, especially in this day and age. And so definitely appreciate that one. Not just the but the comment as well there. So Stephen, bang on. We do. There are different shades of what we have. So there is the movement we talk about. That is slam dunk. That is the gold standard. That's what we really, really want to see. And we've seen it, I don't know, a good handful of times, basically. But it's definitely not every night. That is much, much, much rarer. But we do see it, but that's why it's a hunt, and we have to hang around and we do it. Then there's this middle ground where you're seeing it and you're going, I've seen the satellites all year, for all the seasons, for all the weathers, all the different types of satellites. This one is acting weird. I've not seen one act like it as the one-offs, and we see them more commonly, much more commonly, but we can't say conclusively because they're not displaying certain behaviours there as well. Let's zoom in on this big one here.
Activated.
That's a nice one there. Again, it's not being tracked because the tracker is being a dick. We'll get there eventually. And Lee coming in, feeding Alan. Thank you for those ones. So it's much appreciated, guys. As I said, it all goes back into stream and it helps us improve what we do, specifically saving up to take the show on the road to do more live on locations. Essentially, we need to get a Starlink dish so we can connect from all these out-of-the-way places, not relying on phone signal. And Kay, now mostly orbs, and I have them on film there, exhibiting the plasma for sure. Oh, I love that, Kay. Have you got them on your TikTok? If you have, if you tag us in it, I'd love to hear it. But remember, guys, if you do want to share your experiences, your knowledge out... my brain's gone dead. Our Discord is the place to do it. We've got a really cool personal experiences section over there where you guys are sharing your first-hand accounts with the phenomena there, and that way they don't just disappear after the stream. The whole community of a few hundred of you guys can share it there as well. So definitely worth doing it. Plus, all the latest UFO news is shared in there, space news as well, and all that stuff. Skegness, dude. So who's that? Where you from? You know what? Skegness is on my list. I have not done the Yorkshire coast. Right, I've done a bit of Yorkshire, and I absolutely love it. When I was looking to move from Essex to somewhere, it was where we are here in Wiltshire because it's convenient for work, or going up to sort of York way there, and I was very, 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 very tempted. Fantastic place, lovely people. But the coast I haven't done. I haven't done Whitby, I haven't done Skegness. Where's the other one? Bempton, around there. That's where I was thinking of. That's meant to be the weird place there, right on the coast. So that we do need to add to our list there. But the North Yorkshire Moors, Isles not only are beautiful, but again, a lot of connection to all this weird stuff there. And Puget Sound in Washington there, okay, that's the one. And I didn't tell you, but I saw the response. Oh, what's that for? Where are we down here as well? Oh, Laptop has renamed you Raft, by the way. That's a thing. I like that. Raft. I like that. It's sticking. And I love a nice cider there, but lots of the painkillers after. Oh, yeah, you got to be careful with all of that. Or hopefully it's a steady recovery for you there. And then you'll be off sprightly. Are you, AFC, are you coming to the, if your leg's up for it, are you coming to the Skywatch anniversary over on Cradle Hill on the bank holiday Saturday night, weekend in August there? I think the old school Skywatchers showing there. It may have been you that was one of the early ones to mention it. But I'll be going to that one. You know Skaggy well, and it knows you. Are you Bard, X? And Raf says there, like and subscribe and all that wonderful stuff there. We do appreciate it, guys, if you do choose to give us a like or a share or tap away, all that sort of stuff, because that is how we meet you all. It's how their algorithm knows to basically share it to people like yourselves. You never know who's going to come in and what experience that they are going to share with us. That has actually been the thing that has blown my mind more than the sightings we've seen. And we've seen some cool things, but again, the thing that's really pushed my understanding is hearing how much you guys experience, how often there. Tries it. Lily's a cider, as it's the only one, only at Bonds Lane, just outside of my hometown of Frome. There. Very nice. You guys do love your cider there. Ben is in the house. And Mr. Where are all the aliens? Good question. Hopefully we're going to see them soon. But we have to remember as well that we're looking out for that anomalous movement. Look, there's one at the bottom there that's quite a bright one. I'm looking for a better example. We've not got one at the second. But just because it doesn't display that anomalous movement does not mean that it 100% is not anomalous. Most of the time, ET is going to be flying around up there from A to B in a straight line at a consistent speed. There's not much to avoid up there. Probably knows where he's going. Not going to go, turn left at the next junction. There isn't any up there. So from us down here, ET flying around, reflecting that light back, versus the man-made flashes from the solar panels, like, the satellites like that flying around, are going to look very, very similar. We are looking for that rare occasion when E.T. realises he's left his keys at home and has to do an interstellar handbrake turn right over the screen. So it's not going to be all the time, but that's why it's a hunt, and that's why we need all of your eyes following these things. You can remember the tracker is a guide, but don't fully trust it. It's definitely a little bit janky there. So yeah, we need to follow these ones. Even if it's gone straight and consistent across the screen, it might be that last second before it leaves shot that it does something strange. In fact, that has happened a few times there. Anything, hesitation, stopping dead, changing course or trajectory there. And Whipstar, the purple star, is Vega. Big, beautiful
Zoom mode
Vega
activated.
is our stream companion for us during the summertime. It is big, bright, beautiful Vega. 26 light years-ish from us here on Earth. About 300 times the size of our sun. Burning hotter and brighter. It won't last as long there. Oh, Flasher in D4. Good spot in there, Lethal. And Bully there. Have you seen anything lately? Yeah, last week we did have a couple of interesting ones. Haven't clipped them yet because I'm slacking. But, we did have a couple of interesting ones. Again, they're in that oh, that's odd, rather than that is definitely anomalous category. We haven't had a definite anomalous one in a couple of months, which does just mean, because it was August last year, which we're just about getting into now, was our peak time for sightings. So I am fully expecting it to be like a wow for us coming in soon there. Harco coming in with the gifts. Thank you for those. It all goes back into the stream. And Stephen there, hey, from Plymouth, UK there. And everyone, first time catching the live, Stephen, very, very welcome in again there for you. And excuse me, I do appreciate, again, the super chat. Very kind of you there. Plymouth is not too... No, wait, Portsmouth. I always get Portsmouth and Plymouth around the wrong way. Plymouth's Devon, isn't it? There, beautiful place. Paul as well. Let's hope we have a clear, beautiful 12th to see the personage. Our luck, it will be the one night that has been cloudy in like the last 6 months. You just know our luck. But we'll be on, probably either which way there. But yeah, let's hope it's a clear sky so we can see more. Last night we did good for shooting stars. We did very good for shooting stars. I missed them live, but we luckily clipped them. Oh, there's an orangey one. Sometimes we get some really distinct colours. Obviously, you've seen the blue, but we get some really reddy orange ones and some really distinct green ones as well. So the red or orange ones are interesting. There are reasons that could be coming from a man-made satellite, although I don't necessarily think they're that good of a reason. But anyway, they're particular interest for us because there are various reports, and in our deep dive, our members and Patreon deep dive we did earlier just before the live stream, it came up in the historical documents that part of the propulsion of how these things might be working could result in an ionization of plasma around the craft, therefore an involuntary glow. They would just be boom, in the same way that our cars, combustion engine cars, make a noise. We can't change that. These might glow as a byproduct of their propulsion. So that could be an extra thing. It definitely means put more eyes on it. Make sure that it's, we can check in case it does do something strange there. So another picture of the little man. Now it just shows you how well he's doing. Oh, DJ, I'm going to definitely check that one out. I'm so glad. And I've just come back from a few days. This is Conspiracy Right down at the New Forest there, and I've never seen so many sats and satellites in my life. Well, firstly, the New Forest is amazing. I do love it there. Lots of good memories. I was there in February actually, but just after the bloody flooding we had it, so I couldn't really go anywhere. The whole place was just underwater. But yeah, imagine a dark sky area like the New Forest. Janie coming in with the gifts as well. Thank you for those, Janie. So appreciate that. All back into the stream. But yeah, the New Forest, like that dark sky, you're going to see it. The skies are alive. The skies are absolutely full of stuff. So again, it's not going to be all of them are going to be anomalous. There are some streams, name no names, where you'll go on and they'll be watching the satellites flying around. They go, oh, it's a UFO, it's a UFO. It's like, probably not. Statistically, there's a lot of man-made stuff up there. But just because, as we say, it's not doing anything obviously anomalous, doesn't mean it's not a UFO 100%. We are working on the tracker, trying to actually be able to match them up with known satellites that are flying around, but it's taking its time to do it. But it is on the list. But yeah, statistically, most likely a satellite if it's not doing anything strange, but not necessarily. Again, these things were seen well before man had stuff up there in orbit, was able to get anything up there, before Sputnik and all of that. So not seen to the same amount, but there are definitely things up there. It's code name, they're called uncorrelated targets, I think is what the code is internally for it there. And Cruiser there, what is going on? Good question. We're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. We're looking out for the weird and wonderful, strange and anomalous in the night sky live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So a long history of the weird and wonderful in these skies. They're very fruitful, so do pay attention and help us spot the weird ones there. If you call out the grid reference, if you predict the square you think it's going to be in, because there's a bit of lag, it will highlight the square on the screen and then hopefully drawing my eye to it. And if it's anomalous, I can zoom in, pay a bit more of attention, and also everybody in the chat will see it as well. But yeah, lots of strange things here. In fact, we had a UFO flap here in the 60s and 70s. Went on to about 10-15 years of solid sightings. It was insane. Still going on to some degree, but not to the same intensity. But it's a bit of a hotspot here. I mean, there's lots of strange stuff, which there isn't as many distinctions between the wider paranormal, the folklore, the ufology, all of that stuff actually all kind of blurs in certain areas there, and this part of the world is right before it there. So these guys are alive. AFC, thanks. It was a mixture of a large sister hoof behind the kneecap, the ACL, the meniscus trimmed, top, shin bone shaved. Oh my god, fluid bags removed and able to walk, but have one crutch for balance there. Painkillers working. Oh my god, that is a full-on whack there. Well, you'll be up to it in no time. You'll be skipping, hopping and jumping there. That was an alien. Well, mister, it might be. This is the thing. Until we can get to the point where we can actually match the ones with known man-made satellites at the right place and get that accurate, we just don't know for sure. Now, skeptical people will come in and they will go, oh, it's all satellites. And that's a dismissive argument. It's an unscientific argument. That they should say is they are mostly going to be satellites. That's fine. That the statistics back that up, but we do not know until we can match that up to a specific tracked object to confirm that it isn't. What we are seeing, what we can say we're seeing, is something activated up there in the night sky, either emitting light or reflecting light back down. Now, most likely reflecting it, because these things are affected by the Earth's shadow, the position of the suns at times of years, but in cases they may be actually emitting that light, as you mentioned earlier about the craft. So yeah, we don't know. This thing that we have to open, and I think us in the UFO community and also out there, oh, that's a bright one, in the skeptical community, we have to get more confident or more happy and comfortable holding these things open as possibilities, rather than saying, no, it's definitely not this or it's definitely that. We can say most likely, and we can then use that information to go forward in life and go, well, you know what I think, all space worms, it's probably a bat or something going across the sky, geese, but yeah, oh, that's a red one, isn't it?
Mode activated.
There you go, that is different, very different considering all of them tonight, isn't it there? Very cool. Same sort of trajectory as that other slightly orange one, although this is more orangey red. But yeah, like, you can take that forward and make a decision yourself. You can go, well, I just think, they're probably satellites, so I'm not going to bother watching. And we can say, well, we're treasure hunters. We just need that one, don't we? And then we can we can then dedicate our time based on that, and that is fair enough. But yeah, we got to stop collapsing it down, I think, mister. I think you're right there. And Scrambled Megs, I like that name. Thank you for the follow. Where are you in from? Guys, if you're new here, do say hello. Let us know we were watching tonight. Ask away any questions. I am quite far behind in the chat. I'm 22:28 that message, and we're now 22:46. Okay, so God, I'm a few minutes behind in the chat there, but I will get to them. So ask away any questions. There's no silly questions here at all. And oh, there's a flasher up there. I don't know if it's going to come back, guys, but look for that. Sherry Swiss there. We'll never know if a war of the worlds ever happened because of the immense time of the universe. So that is the other angle, isn't it, Sherry? You're right there. That basically it's not just are we in the same place? You know, is there alien life physically out there right now? How far away are they? Now, statistically, likely life is going to be out there. That's the mainstream science position now. But do we exist at the same time as an intelligent species as well out there? There's other arguments, you know, because the vast time scales of the universe, it's the same as distance, you know. Maybe there's alien life, maybe they're so far away, but maybe they're far away in time as well. I think that, you know, we're coming from the assumption, aren't we, that life is rare because we've only experienced ourselves here on this planet, and it gives us a bit of a bias. I think the early indicators that we're getting are actually showing that the universe is bloody alive with life there. Again, early, can't be confirmed, but it's looking that way. And I think if that is the case, then it's a numbers game of just sentient life and civilizations. I don't think it's going to be as rare as that, but we do have to consider time. The tracker has been on the whiskey. It bloody has their raft. And Buffy there, can you recommend a camera that can capture the night sky and stars under 500? So we got our camera for under 500. So with this first generation Sony A7S is about 250 to 300 there. Now, they're not a high megapixel, but they are good for low light. But you've got to remember with these cameras, it's all about the lens, really. The lens itself. That's where the magic happens with low light, fast acting lenses. And I'm not as good on that one. I made some expensive mistakes. But maybe that'll be a place to start with your your journey of research there. And one other thing's moving. Mr. Good question there. So the majority of what we're seeing moving. Why is it getting locked on the stars? That is bloody ridiculous at the minute, isn't it? See if that helps it there. But let's turn the sensitivity down because it's still getting shit tracks. So what are these things moving? Most of them, so let's say for this one, for example, here, most of them are going to be man-made satellites, just because statistically there's a hell of a lot of them up there. And if there were more UFOs than there was more man-made satellites, then I'd be worried that we're about to have the invasion. But it doesn't mean that this object, for example, actually 100% is. We're monitoring them, and that's why we're trying to track them to see if they do anything strange. See if they do anything a man-made satellite just can't do, like stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory, because that tells us for sure 100% that it is not a man-made object, and it's not a known organic object either, like a shooting star or something. Now, it will take us a while to necessarily spot those ones. It's not going to be all of them, but until then, we can't say that it 100% is a satellite if it's not doing it, but we say statistically most likely going to be. And had a procedure at the All Souls Hospital at Peacedown there, St John, private hospital, but it's on the NHS in 12:30 there. And Gribbage coming in feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you those,
guys.
and Stacey as well coming in with gifts too.
Nom nom nom.
Appreciate
guys.
those. So it all goes back into the stream, help us improve what we do. So it's good to know it's a local one for that one. How long do you have to wait for the appointment? And Conspiracy, I've just got back through the New Forest there, seen so many stars and satellites. It is beautiful there as well. Also a bit spooky there. And it's like Kurt as well. The Discord link at the website is outdated. So it doesn't do a static one, sadly, Kurt. And for some reason, Discord for us is always a dynamic one. And it's meant to never expire, but it obviously has. So thank you for the heads up there. We'll work on that one. I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, I won't be able to do it right now, but I'll hopefully update that one for you there. I don't know why they just don't let us have a bloody static one. Discord is one of its pain in the arse there. Janie coming in with the shares as well. And Man Like Bones as well. Appreciate the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? DJ, Pendle Hill is not too far from you. Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that. We've got a couple your way, haven't we? Well, maybe we might line up there. Oh, Bridlington. I'd forgotten about Bridlington. There. What's that, Gribbage? I've never seen that one before.
Nom, nom, nom.
Thank you for feeding Alan. And 2 likes are done there to 2 devices. Thank you, AFC. Very, very kind of you. We do appreciate it, guys. It's obviously not mandatory, but we do appreciate the likes and stuff, because that is how we reach you all. That is how, you guys end up coming into us, and then you never know who's going to come in and what experience or knowledge they are going to share. We had some really, really interesting people in lately, so very grateful for that one there. Like the formation of those objects there in Washington there. That was like a Star Trek comm badge there, but the two bottom points were elongated. Interesting. You know, I don't think I've heard about ones like that before. That is really, really cool. I like that. Thank you for sharing. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. Coming in, because these are the stories that they don't make the news. They don't travel across the continents necessarily. And you just think how many stories get like that, or accounts, experiences get lost to time. But we're so fortunate to be connected, like we are all here connected tonight doing this live. You know, if we see something on the stream, we all get to see it in real time, and we can be confident there's been no shenanigans because it's a live camera straight to you guys for that. Like, we're getting to hear everybody's experiences, and that is the thing that's blown my mind is exactly how much is happening and how often there. Really, that it just blew. I thought it was a much rarer phenomena. Good spot in there, a DJ as well. And short there, do you think they can track UFOs from source to endpoint there? The fastest man-made is orbiting around the sun, too fast to be seen there. 430,000 miles an hour, the Parker Sun Probe. I didn't know they could even track that. But yeah, our ability is really limited. We like to think we would, again, it's the Fermi paradox. Where are all the aliens? Well, that assumes that we've got the technology, we've got the time, we've got the resources to check. We don't. There are always comets and asteroids coming very, very close in between us and the moon, where we just do not know until they've just passed us by. And NASA goes, oh shit, there. We don't know a lot of these things. And the further out it gets, the smaller object. Realistically, guys, we have not got the technology to know about UFOs within our solar system very, very confidently. They'd have to be very, very bright, so to speak, to pick it up there. I send you another graphic tracker there. Thank you, Harko. I need that. And Matty in there as well. And according to the tracker, so at least 20 a night there are changing to the minute, Raf. Yeah, that is bloody ridiculous. It was working fine, and now it's not. So I'm not fully sure why it's now having started. The only thing I can think of is that obviously the sky changes with how bright it is versus the moon and things like that, weather conditions, humidity affects it. So maybe there's some things there that we're not noticing the subtle change to, but it's really getting in the way for the tracker's ability to differentiate the moving objects and things like that. And okay, I think my combined chat is having a sulk with TikTok at the second, so you guys might not be able to activate the grid from where you are for the second. And the blue in a front there, a couple of green in the middle, like a free red in the back, linked to a point track. So multiple colours as well. Okay, now that is really, really interesting, because we've seen coloured ones obviously, but I don't think I've seen them in formation like that. That is really interesting there. And you too, Joseph there, and user not found. How are you doing? Commander Wolf there, and Lee, the quick visit to working tomorrow, but Lee, thank you for popping by as always. Hope work was fun for you there, Star Trekking across the universe, trying to get me to sing. Stephen there, thanks for the answer there, loving the show again. Thank you, Steve, it's very kind. Thank you for being a part, thank you for keeping us company and watching there, do appreciate you there. Again, ask away any questions, there's no silly questions here at all. And does it Tigger Sam has built all of this on back and money, of definitely the money, yeah. But again, without you guys, I can't take all the credit. It's nature that puts on the show, and you guys that come in with all of the awesome experiences and all of your knowledge and willing to share all that. Again, if you guys hadn't been keeping us company and doing all of that over the years, I would have given up in about a week. I just sit here, turn the cameras on, and make some green graphics every now and again. Paul, it was a gorgeous evening. We are very lucky. Again, we've had a couple of cloudy nights, which, you know, for the UK we've not done too bad for, but yeah, it is quite bright tonight. I was worried with the moon being up and where it is, but that doesn't seem to be affecting us too much tonight though. And James there, hello, what's it all about? Just joined for the first time. James, hopefully you're still in. Takes me a while to get to all the messages, guys. But this is a live UFO UAP Skywatch there. And we're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So a long history of the weird and wonderful in these skies. Lots of, over the years, we've had, you go back through folklore, they've had all sorts of sightings here in this part of the world, that could be the same as these sorts of things. And no, as ISS tonight, no, apparently not for August, apparently. Maybe it's the Chinese Chang'e. Apparently, that is only a southern hemisphere orbit, apparently. I think Leaf will check that one out there. Is Starlink internet expensive for like £70 a month? Yeah, so, yeah, it is. So we need the mini dish. And again, it's a few £100, but it ain't, you know, impossible to get to. That's what we're saving up for. But it's £50 a month, but it gives you a limited amount of data. So if we're doing the occasional, maybe even a monthly on location stream, that will be enough for us to do like 1 or 2 streams a month. But yeah, if we was to use it here as maybe a backup for our intermittent internet, I wouldn't be able to afford it monthly. I think it's like what you'd need for the unlimited. Is about £90, so that's not there for that. But for us to do the occasional location, it should be all right there. And John there, do you think that they will just keep adding to the satellites or make them bigger, because it will be a bit crowded house up there soon? Well, they're really worried about that, and you're right. I mean, there's 16,000 of them up there at the minute, and the early discussions were with Starlink and the internet constellations was up to like 40,000, but now they're talking about AI data centers up there. They're talking hundreds of thousands. Now, there still is a lot of space up there, but it doesn't mean, you know, it's not getting particularly dangerous. Like, you think a lot of the satellites are, you know, small car sized, like think of a Mini or something like that. The majority of them up there, the satellites, the Starlink ones, and if you laid out 16,000 small cars, it wouldn't actually take up that much space on the physical Earth. And when you're up there, obviously it's a bigger sphere, so they are quite far spread out, but you know, they have to do a lot of adjustments for collisions up there. So space will very quickly start to become quite crowded there. And I really want to see one or two go to a haunted forest or something. The illusion is the illusion. Hello. That is so. Well, Rendlesham Forest, where we're going to kick off our UFO tour, that is apparently very, very creepy and very, you know, haunted and those sorts of things. But over the winter, we are going to dabble on those cloudier nights when we can't get the camera out. We are going to dabble in some spooky stuff there, so we're allowing it. But this new bit of kit that we've already got now for our things, which we were so lucky to get, because this bit of kit is like £1,000 or more, and we were lucky to pick it up for just like a couple of £100. So it's going to be really, it's going to say for the on locations of the Skywatches, we can not just have the, you know, the host cam and the Skywatch, we can now bring in the night vision goggles as well. So when we're spotting something individually, we can do a super zoom in the infrared, but also other things. But it also allows us to do more sort of weird stuff with the spook. I'm just getting some ideas at the minute there. AFC, thank you, AFC. That's very, very generous of you there with the super chat. Put this towards it. Thank you so much. Again, that's where it all goes. No down the pub for us. So we will get there close. We also want to do the dog whistle, because that's something we've got in there. And Lethal as well, coming in with the gifts. Very, very kind of you as well there. And Quinton, sorry, I missed a few there. Lethal as well, coming in, feeding Alan.
Thanks, guys.
Quinton as well there. Brian, G, and Nicola as well there. Thank you for the follows, guys. Where are you joining us in from tonight? Good to have you in. But yeah, we also got our UFO dog whistle. So this is a passive stream. We're looking out, aren't we, to the night sky, hoping to see ET fly as he's going to fly across the screen. But what if we could do something to encourage them in? There are various ways that have been reported to be very successful. Like there's a consciousness meditation practice called CE5, and around that sort of thing purports to have a lot of success. But there is also, you know, ultrasonic tones and frequencies that apparently are very successful in summoning them in. We've built a machine to do it. We haven't got it hooked up yet, because I need to get a little device, basically. I need to get an old second-hand phone that I can put on the speaker outside, which will play it. Oh, was that a flash? Oh. Around here. There we go. We've got a flasher. We'll do the dog whistle in a minute. There we go. Look how bright that one is. That is bright for a flasher. Oh, and it's variable. Now, the mainstream explanation, guys, is that... Keep that one on the screen zoomed in. Is that basically, see how this flashes like that? No flash, flash, no flash, flash. It's doing that, tumbling, as it is orbiting. Now... Not necessarily anomalous in of itself, but if it's orbiting, modern satellites don't really like to do that. If you imagine, look, they look like this. They need to be pointed in the direction of function. So basically, if this is Hubble, but a spy satellite of its camera needs to be pointing down to Earth, doesn't it? Can't just tumble away like that. Same with the communication satellites. So they are always worth following a bit more. But where did we get to? Oh, yeah, so with the... dog whistle, that's what I keep saying, guys. Where's my cursor? The dog whistle, yeah, we've built it, and I can show you some test tones, basically. So it's not hooked up to the speaker yet, but there's various ultrasonic pulses, frequencies we don't hear with the human ear that have this success level. So hopefully it should work on TikTok tonight. You should see a white line appear. Oh, hold on, turn that one on. should see this white. There we go. Right, so you see it across my face on TikTok and you see it down there on YouTube. Now that is going to show you the waveform, because obviously we're not going to be able to audibly hear the tones, but you'll hear our test tone, which is there we go. So we've got various patterns, frequencies, and all that sort of various things that hopefully we can encourage them in to there. So let me turn that one off. So we'll be able to use that one soon. But if we want to take that on the road, again, need to get a certain type of like portable speaker that can do that and stuff. So we're getting close to being able to actually do the summoning on the road as well, though. So it's going to be really cool. But yeah, the spooky stuff as well. That's going to be our winter project, I think, for those nights we can't get the camera out. This is always going to be the main show, but yeah, when we can't get the camera out, that is what's going to happen. And Danny, we're all good. How are you doing there? Stacey, hey, evening all. Seeing love from Essex. Good to have you in there, Stacey. I hope Essex is like, how are the skies over there? They clear as here. And X amount official there. My late father thought he captured a UFO. A few UFOs on pictures over the year. Oh, X, I would love to hear more about that one. In the pictures, what did it look like? Was it like, could you see a craft shape to it? That is fantastic. And again, this is I absolutely love doing this one. TikTok there, thank you for the follow. We don't, because you get to hear all these accounts. Yeah, tell us more. What did they look like? Whereabouts in the world? I'd love to hear that. There's 120 odd in there and only 4 odd likes, 40 odd likes. A criminal RAF there. Guys, if you do choose to give us a like or a share or something like that, we do appreciate it. That's how we meet you all. You never know who's going to come in and what experience with the phenomena they are going to share with us there. And AFC, they do say that UAP high technology is so advanced, called FLIR, only thermal visible, or utilising active camouflage cloaking. Well, I would not be surprised, yeah, if they're that far advanced that they could choose to cloak, and if they did not want to see us. Again, a lot of the phenomena is reported to be only visible in the infrared part of the light spectrum. So us as humans, we see what we call the visible light spectrum, because that's the bit that we see. But down the low end, there's infrared, and up the high end there's ultraviolet, and we don't see them, but some animals do. But infrared particularly is meant to be very, very active for the phenomena. Lots of things have appeared over the years for those. So that's one of our other projects, is upgrading. This camera can do those light frequencies, but we need to send it there. Where are we? Gandalf is in the house. How are you doing tonight, Gandalf? And Buffy there. Anyone had that phenomena where you're in a dark room and all of a sudden there's a quick flash, like a camera flash, and you even hear the weird noise inside the room? Now, I've had it 4 different times. I haven't had that, actually. I want to hear more on that one. That is really interesting. Is that something other people have experienced? Is there any theories behind it? Epping is very weird. The woods you've got there, very ancient, very weird. Messed up what you mentioned earlier regarding the AFC. I missed. So they're basically, I think Gandalf was telling about, and a few others have mentioned this one, that there is the local, the historic UFO skywatchers from the 60s and 70s, all the old school crew apparently meet up on the Saturday of the bank holiday weekend every year to come back and do a skywatch, even though they're everywhere in the world. It's kind of like a thing they all do annually as a little bit of a meet up and a meet and greet and a hello there. So I'm going to attend this year, and hopefully Gandalf should be there this year as well, who's in our chat as well. But yeah, meet some of the old school skywatchers. But if you're local, you may have already know about it, AFC. But yeah, if you're local, I think it is publicly announced on Facebook or something. Yeah, so I think 8 p.m. up at Cradle Hill on the Saturday of that. The Saturday of the bank holiday weekend this year. Stacey, how do you add people? I mean to reply. I don't actually know, Stacey. I don't know if you can. Some people seem to be doing it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm too old. I know this side of it. I don't know that side of it. And JD is back. How are you doing there? And AFC, I think my BT internet is playing up there. It keeps lagging. Yeah, we're actually, I think, okay here at the second wave internet tonight, touch wood. It might be BT playing up. They're not putting in the fibre in your area, and they've just knocked something at the exchange, because we've had that before. Still waiting for fibre to come here, guys. And then we'll be on more platforms. It'll be more consistent. And I've also heard it's a static getting trapped behind our radiators. Really? That is interesting. I didn't even know it was a thing. But I'm going to like that one now. And Liberty, how are you doing tonight? How was it? Was it today or was it tomorrow you're doing a stream? How did that go? And it is sometimes, isn't it? We've sent 400 comments on the live, Janie. Well done there. How long have you been in now? It's been a while there. And Ether there, anything yet? Oh, we have had a couple of flashes in. We've not had the interesting ones yet. But it just means it is still to come for the night. Guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're all joining us from tonight there. A few minutes behind. God, I'm very few minutes behind in the comments. But I will get to you there. Do tell us your experience with the phenomenon as well there. Started the Essex talk now. We'll find out how many of us are from here as well. And where's I just saw Starlink in Spain. It looks crazy. It really does. Like, you don't necessarily need to do the ET for part of this necessarily. Seeing man-made technology like Starlink flying around there, or the shooting stars, is pretty cool. We've seen Starlink. We've been lucky. You haven't seen it, I don't think, this year, but we've seen it just after launch when it's really, really close together. We've seen it when they're kind of mid-range. You know, you're seeing 4 on the screen at once, you know, in a line, and then we're seeing it quite far apart. And it's always breathtaking. And if you're seeing it with a naked eye, you just see that line in the sky flying around, the big bright line, which nobody's seen that before in history. Like, they didn't do that with satellites until Starlink, I don't think. So, like, no wonder people get them mistaken for UFOs. It is so anomalous there. Drewski is in the house. How are we doing? Drewski there. And Nicola as well, coming in with the gifts there. Lethal 2 for those. I appreciate that. So it all goes back into the stream there, helping us improve what we are doing. The Essex lot are chatty. And Stabby. Kate as well there. What's that? Oh no. You're playing Davina. What was that for? Illusion of Delusion there as well. Drewski coming in with the gifts. Thank you for that one. And Kevin coming in feeding Alan.
Thanks, guys.
Where are we there? What's the best UFO or paranormal movies series in 2026? Or as a series? You know what? I don't know. I don't know for that one, actually. I like a lot of the classic stuff. What would you guys say? Is there anything new that is worth a shout there? Stacey there, how do I reply back to comments? Good question. On the phone, no idea. And DJ there, almost Carlsberg time for you there, and well earned, no doubt there, well earned. The sky is really clear tonight. It is very clear, but it is quieting down the activity front. Should we move the camera around? What do we reckon there? We are still getting a few bits, but there's some faint ones that the tracker isn't getting. I'm going to crank up the brightness, guys, just a little bit, and it might make the image a bit crapper, but see if it helps the tracker with the contrast. There. Robert coming in with the gifts there as well there, AFC, and Robert coming in with the shares there. Do appreciate that, guys.
Nom nom nom.
AFC
Thanks,
for feeding
guys.
Alan. It's trying, bless it. We're all good. Hope you're doing well there, Drewski. It's using the app button in a way that we haven't figured out yet to do it. There, I couldn't figure it out. Well, I've tried it previously. And Conspiracy there, while watching while skywatching in the New Forest, I saw 2 things following each other, and I'm guessing it's satellites, as they didn't do anything obscure, but not sure if satellites move together in pairs. It's a good question, yeah. Without that strange behaviour, you're not going to be able to say for sure otherwise, but sometimes your gut knows, doesn't it? There you go. Well, that's a little strange. I don't think I've ever seen, to the naked eye, the satellites move close by. We do see it on here, you know, when they'll follow each other, but were they side by sides or, you know, behind? Following, yes, so behind. Oh, there was, I don't know if you guys saw that. You wouldn't have seen it on the TikTok. It's behind me, but just here, the tail of a shooting star popped up. So yeah, without the, but your gut we tell. I don't think I've seen it though with the naked eye. So you might be interesting. Definitely worth paying attention to there. And what the hell was that there, Dan? A very good question. What was that one? Southeast Scrambled Megs. I love that name. The Southeast 8, that's where I used to be from there, down in sunny Essex. Have you ever seen anything strange in your skies? Just got your Eclipse glasses, Grandolph. I literally mean to order them, but I know I'm being fleeced. You know, now it's getting close. Those Amazon sellers are putting their prices up there, and it looked strange there. Evening, all time to fall asleep there, Gribbage. Hey, if you can get to sleep with my yapping, I'm very impressed. But if you're enjoying it, how are you doing there? Which one was that one? God, I'm so far behind in the comments. I'm reading comments from 22:48, so I am 13 minutes behind. Oh, we're trimming it down, guys. We'll get to your messages there. Good question there. just Sam's bald head, and it does get very shiny. Was this the flashing one as well? And a lot of orange and blue ones. Yeah, we're seeing the colours tonight, which we haven't seen for a while as well there. And AFC, all the hype. Oh, that was a nice shooting star. We're in the season, guys. Mods, remember, you've got the button on the interactive grid. There is a shooting star tally button that will pop it up there if you want to do it, that is. All the hype over Oumuamua, so-called heading to Earth's trajectory, but NASA won't put out info anyway, as a panic would be insane. So this is AFC. I've not heard of Oumuamua, because Oumuamua was the first interstellar object, wasn't it? There that was a few years ago now that we caught it on the way out, and it was. I thought that was more interesting than Free Eye Atlas. But what's this? Because somebody else might have mentioned something about Earth's trajectory or something. I haven't heard about it, but yeah, I think you're right. They wouldn't say. If they, I think that is their policy, to outright not say. A lot of the times there. Good spot in there, Lethal and that. Guys, it does seem to be working across the platform, so it does seem to be working across the platform. So if you call out the grid number, A2, for example, of anything that we're not being tracked or I'm not paying attention to is being tracked, it should highlight the grid square so everybody can see it, and also hopefully I'll catch it and I'll be able to zoom in on the really, really interesting stuff. Now, there is a delay, so try and predict the square that you think it is going to be into next. You're probably wondering that. You see them every night. The skies are getting more and more busy, and definitely there is a seasonal effect to all of this sort of stuff, where the sun is in the right position, even though it's night, it's not fully round, and these objects still have a line of sight to reflect the light back on. So there are busier periods. But just because they don't do the anomalous movement, they don't stop dead short of speed to change the course of trajectory, doesn't mean that they're not a UFO. If they are that simple, consistent, straight course, then that can still very much be a UFO. It's just, most likely to not be, and it's not giving us enough evidence either which way. Then AFC, that is all. Probably got Musk written on all of them. Moving objects, he's got 10,900 satellites up there circling low Earth orbit, and 12,500 sent since 2019. Yeah, he's definitely lost a lot, hasn't he? Yeah, and there's going to be a lot more. It's a game changer. So we definitely have to consider those there. Tracker's very temperamental. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's delayed. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be consistent. I have been trying to edit it, but it's I don't know what it's working off now. Like, with some of these ones, it's meant to be just based on brightness, but yeah, because these are more than bright enough, and I have got the settings there. There is enough contrast, so no idea why it's not doing it now. In fact, I'm going to stop it. Let's see if we can start it again, maybe. See if it wants to have a bit of a refresh. Maybe it'll pick something up there. Oh, look, it's not picking up that one, but it's picking up that bright star there. Very frustrating. So it must just be environmental factors with it that I've not taken into account there. LC McGee, thank you for the gift. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. This guy is very much alive this evening there. It's Crawling Stacey. You're not wrong. It is alive. And even on the nights where we don't see as much, now that let me just move this. Sorry, guys. Let's move this up. Change the tracking a little bit. Oh, there's a bit of a lag on it, which is weird. Maybe that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Let's turn that off. It's actually having a bit of lag. It's never had this before, so maybe that is part of it. Maybe that is why it is having it sulk there. There you go, that's a little bit better. Oh, no, now it's lagging again. Let me just do some investigation on that one. But yeah, even if we're not seeing them, they're still there in the same orbits. It just means the position of the sun isn't particularly round enough to reflect that light back, basically. I just found out we can send gifts on YouTube now, feeling like a boomer. Hey, Gribbage, I didn't know that until recently. So, Gribbage, all the gifts on YouTube, we feed them to Alan as well. And Pendle Hill is, Hill as in East Lancashire. I think so, AFC. Yep. And Gribbage, okay, actually, good night now. I'll catch you later, Gribbage, as always. Thank you for joining us there. It's amazing. What else for us to see? This is amazing. I put the camera out, guys, and just hang around every night. If it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing it. There, look at this one.
Zoom mode activated.
There you go. Nice and orange there. Again, no excuse for the tracker to miss this. I think it's a processing issue, actually, now, guys. I think for some reason it is having a bit, and I'm going to have to investigate why, because the computer's got plenty of RAM, but it seems to be, oh, sorry, that's the blind you. That was the deep dive. Yeah, I think that's why it's going wrong, guys. I think it's having trouble processing now. That's why it's better early on in the night. I wonder what that's going to be about. Doing it there. And Stuart coming in again with the second super chat. It's very, very kind of you, Stuart. Like, very, very massive appreciation. All goes back, said, into the stream there. But we do appreciate you all for that one. Said, getting us, and upgrading everything there as well. Lots of exciting things to come. On a PC are going... And Stacey there, I love this stuff there. So this is the correct night watch for me. Stacey, bang on. We love having you in there. We have found such an awesome crew of people that are just friendly, but also willing to share their ideas, their thoughts, their theories, and their experiences, which is actually quite brave doing that over the internet. I mean, it can be a pretty savage place, and definitely from my experience, trying to share my curiosity, my passion, and all this sort of stuff there. All good for me there for that one. Thank you, guys. I will do that one as well, because I think I need to press the buttons though. Sorry, having a bit of a mod chat around there. Yeah. I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, you guys coming and sharing your experience, very brave. Yeah, definitely when I've shared things publicly, you kind of get looked down, don't you, sometimes. So it's a brave act. It's a brave act. So we appreciate you doing that in this day and age there. Stacey as well. As well. And Lucy, how are you doing tonight there? Guys, if you are just joining us, we are doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch there. Coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. A long history of strange and anomalous, weird and wonderful in these skies. Do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from tonight. As well, Stuart.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you for feeding Alan.
Guys.
Yeah, do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll get to you all in the chat. Ask away any questions as well. No silly questions here at all. I'm a few minutes behind, so it'll take me a minute. But do ask away there. Oh, your battery's going. Oh, that's what it was, Gandalf. Your battery was going. Well, hey, charge it. Go on the wall. Got to be planning for these things. And Roy there. Lovely evening here. They're completely clear. We have had such good skies, haven't we, for the last, a couple of months now. It's horrible during the day with a heat wave, but those clear skies are fantastic. Where are we there? As well, an AFC, King Alfred's Tower is only 11.6 miles away from Clay Hill at Stourhead there. Lovely National Trust estate and well worth a look around. I've not heard of King Alfred's Tower. I still haven't been to Stourhead. I've seen pictures. It looks absolutely lovely. And Al Jackson there. If the Earth spins one way, how is there two things moving in opposite directions? Brilliant question there, Al. So what's happening with these is that you can put them in different orbits, basically. So the orbit isn't necessarily just the position where it physically is, but it can also be its rotation there as well. So when it is going with the spin of the Earth, that is called prograde. It's the easiest one. Rocket up roughly around the middle of the Earth, nice and easy, going in the direction. So you're working with the spin of the Earth. You've not got to expend the energy to go in reverse. Really easy. A lot of satellites do that prograde orbit, whereas some are in a retrograde orbit. You've probably heard that from films, and that requires a lot more energy, but sometimes it's better to do that for whatever the purpose of the satellite is. Same with the positions as well. So you've got your equatorial orbits, and a lot of those you've got geostationary orbits. There, Crab as well coming in the shares. Thank you for that. You've also got polar orbits as well, where they're going around the top rather than around the middle. I barely get my head around it, so it's a very, very good question. Lethal as well coming in the shares, and Knight, the Jedi Knight there. Unlimited 70. Excellent Liberty. So last time I checked, I thought it was like 90, but Liberty, that's better. That's getting more. If we were doing regular locations, then it makes it like more possible, those ones as well. We watched the Sky at Night there, great show. He was an old, what was his name? He's a legend, wasn't he? Sir Patrick Moore, there we go, that's the one. And he was a bit of a trickster. He was quietly interested, apparently, in the UFO stuff there, but would wind up the rest of the astronomical community with stuff like that there. Oh, it's gone up to 95. Damn. There, Jim Bob in the US. Good to have you in from across the pond. Have you ever seen anything strange in the night skies? I'd love to have you in there. A1 Red Flash, Carl, good spot in there. And we're in space. Where is space? Brian there. So yeah, this is space. We're looking directly up. So we are in Warminster in Wiltshire. So just down the road from Stone Henge. Our camera is normally south facing, normally southeast to southwest, somewhere in that range because we move it. But at the minute we are basically pointing directly up at the second. There. And Man Like Bones are there. So, brother, what is the green dots? The stars or so? The good question here. What we're seeing is all of these dots that we're seeing around here now, the static ones, these are other stars like our sun. Some bigger, some smaller, some brighter, some duller, some different colour lights, depending on what they're burning, basically. But they've all, as far as we know, got other planets around them, like us here in our solar system. This big, bright, beautiful one, purple one here, is Vega. This is 26 light years from us here on Earth there. Very, very hot. We don't know of any planets around that one. I think it's a bit too young and volatile for it, but yeah, that's the night sky of all these things. Now these moving dots, again, various colors of them, these moving dots, this is what we're looking at. We want to see these things, but we need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory, because that is how we'll know that they are anomalous and they're not just one of the many man-made satellites. When the tracker wants to work, I'm going to give it a little bit of a break. In fact, I'm going to refresh it and see if that gives me a clue with why it's struggling a little bit at the minute. Hold on, you're going to lose the sky and then we're going to get it back. Let me see if it loads again. Turn that brightness down to there. Hold on, let's see if it's gonna... Oh, yeah, I think it must be a caching issue. Let's see if that picks up on those ones. So when the tracking does work... No, it's still having a bit of a self. There we go. So what it does, it identifies movement, gives it a white target symbol, and then it draws the path that it has been on and uses that path behind it to predict a dashed line in front of it. And if it's a satellite, from our point of view down here, they work in straight lines, consistent speeds, all that sort of stuff. Very boring, basically. Falling to Earth in a big circle looks like a line down here to us. So if it follows along that line, it goes green, therefore showing us that it is not giving us any evidence to say that it's strange. Now, if it deviates from that, it goes red, and therefore we need to pay more attention. It could be anomalous. This is a good question there. God, I'm a few well behind there. And Francis there, they, to me, they look like stoplights up there. They kind of do a bit there. And how can space be crowded? I mean, literally, it's in the name, isn't it? Space is a gap up there. But you're right, there is a lot of space in between those objects up there. It is quite vast. It's just from our point of view. In fact, like if you zoom in on any of these dark areas, there are stars there. That is so densely packed, you keep zooming in, there's more and more and more stars, but the light coming from those distant stars is too weak for our eyes and our camera to detect. This camera lets in about 2.5 times the light that the human eye can perceive. That's why we can see so much, but there's still lots more out there. You think of the big telescopes like Hubble and all of that sort of stuff, and yeah, there is a lots of anomalies. There's lots of, you know, interesting stuff. It just keeps going on and on and on there, and that what's be so cool to watch you in a haunted forest. I'd be a nightmare, Lucy. I mean, there is someone locally, and we keep meaning to do it. But yeah, we've got some ideas, and I'm awful. I am a scaredy cat when the lights go off there. Priming me and the Van Louis catering support. Yeah, we need craft services, they call it in Hollywood, don't they? When you're doing the filming, you know, all of the bottled water and all of the avocado toast laid out for all of the stars. Oh, Raph, I wish I could join you for that one. And Dave there, what's that? To the drivel, Dave. Oh no, might not be the stream for you then, will it? And Tom, how are you doing? Good to see you in there. I think you're in the wrong one there, Dave. But the problem is, like, not necessarily crop circles, ghosts, and UFOs and dog whistles. Okay, Pat. See, those things might not individually might not be real, right? That is the thing, you know, they're not in the realms of that we've established and widely accepted, but there is lots of evidence there is something going on in these regions, and people exploring those things is more than logical. You know, there isn't anything crazy about that at all. Just because you've never come across something in those areas in your life, that is just your personal bias of your life experiences. And I kind of get it, because I started off as well with going, oh, what? Are you really? You know, no, you're talking out your ass with these things, because I hadn't experienced any things like that. But the problem is with a lot of this stuff is the more you actually look, the more there is something to it there. And so, you know, there is a lot to it there. There is an absolute lot. But it's very interesting, isn't it? And again, it's not a criticism. Everybody's fine to their own beliefs, you know, and how we navigate the world here. But it's... Well, like, a perfect example is the modern consciousness connection with the UFO phenomena. It's not an area that I know a lot on, and I'm much more nuts and bolts, little green men, spaceships crashing to Earth, you know, classic Roswell sort of stuff. I feel more comfortable in those areas there. And Dr. Downs, thank you for the follow there. But yeah, so I'm more confident in those areas. So when it came a lot of this consciousness connection, it was very uncomfortable, because I don't even do meditation at home or anything like that. So I didn't have a lot of touch points with it. But because just because I didn't have a lot of understanding around it doesn't mean that there wasn't stuff to it. So when you look, you go, actually, there is some logical arguments around all of this sort of stuff as well. It doesn't mean you ever have to believe it and stuff, but the idea that people explore all these other things isn't crazy in of itself. You've got to be a little bit more open-minded to it. There's a haunted woodland 6 miles from is it Gare Hill? Oh, right, let me write that one down, because there was one local that I did find, but I didn't know about that one. So thank you there, AFC. Good spotting, guys, with the grid there. And Ryan, have you seen anything interesting tonight? We've had some really quite colourful ones. I've had a couple of flashes, but they're in, if there's 3 tiers of observations, of sightings, of evidence, we'll loosely call it, then tier 1 is the anomalous movement there. Slam dunk, no question. Tier 2 are the one-offs, the things that go, that is interesting. It's not displaying the anomalous movement, but I haven't seen anything else act like that. Tier 3 is that there's nothing really acting like that tonight. Maybe it's a one-off tonight, but not necessarily overall. So we've seen a few tier 3 things as well there. And Brian there, good talker but a bad listener. Not really, it just takes, we're across 2 chats tonight, so we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments. So we've gone on TikTok, we're on YouTube, sometimes we're on Twitch as well, and because I'm reading through the chat in real time, making sure we don't miss any of the story, it takes me a long time to get through the messages as well. So where are we there? 1 minute past 11, that message was sent there. So what are we actually now? Oh my god, yeah, we are well far behind in the messages, guys. So I have to read them through, so it will take me a while to get to your messages, guys, but we want to read it through, otherwise we end up missing a message there. And a piece of space junk can tumble about 3 axes are there. This can make the rotation appear random and therefore give a weird sequence of flashing. Oh, Stu, that is a very good one, because that is a really interesting, because the repetitious flashing ones, I can totally get that one, but yeah, if you're going to have those, yeah, that's interesting. I like that one. Thank you for that, Stu. And Roy there, spotted at large in Clacton-on-Sea's Pinface there as well. And Tom, as I said a few years back there, Starlink killed Skywatching at night there. Have to switch to daytime there. Nothing but crap in the sky at night. So what about at night? What about during the winter? Because, and this is my ignorance of doing this, because when we did this over last summer, Welsh, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? Again, I'm quite far behind the chat, so I will get you, but it'll take me a minute. When we did it over winter, we saw, if we were lucky, 1 satellite a night. 1. So surely like the winters are going to be much better then for doing the sky watching, or do they still come up as black dots with it? I don't know. And Jedi is a busy night tonight. It really, really is there. Copied R3 DM there. You copied Skinwalker Ranch's A Dog Whistle Tone. I'd love to know what ones they are, see if we make sure we've got it. We've got about 13 different selections there, and I don't know which ones are right or more successful with it there. So I wonder if we've got the same ones there. Is it slow? It might be there. Why is that one still getting stuck? I need to actually hire the raise up some of this sensitivity. Where is my cursor? Bloody hell. 5 monitors, guys. Don't do it. I'm going to just put up the minimum movement there, because some of those tracks are absolute dog. Harko coming in there, feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. 3 flashes so far tonight, and we have, think of how long it's been since we've had other flashes before. So there are weird things, sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't there. And Danny, I'm good, mate. How are you? Are you able to check if I am on the Starship now? Oh, Danny, yes, I can do that. I might have to wait to a little bit. Might be when it quietens down, because I'm so far behind in the messages. But I will double check. You should be on there. I'll just need to make sure if it resets. Should we quickly just check the radar, guys? Is there anything planes-wise in the local area tonight there, just in case we get any anomalous sightings? Want to be able to confirm that there is no air traffic. Nope, it looks like we are clear across the board there. Totally ignorant there. Can somebody please explain what we're looking at? Nomad, that is a good question. Don't worry at all with that. It's a very good question. It means I haven't done a good enough job at explaining. So we're doing a live Skywatch. This is a camera pointed up to the night sky, live from Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. We're looking out for the strange and anomalous. We're going to see a lot of moving objects tonight, and we need to see them. There's a faint one up there. There's another faint one there. Is there any better ones around? But essentially, there's a lot of man-made stuff up there, a lot of satellites. So the only way we can confidently tell them apart is by their movement. If that object stops dead, moves off at speed, changes its course trajectory, an interstellar handbrake turn, as we call it, the 90 degrees, or a zigzag, something like that will tell us for sure that it's not one of the man-made or organic objects and puts it into the UFO category. So we've got our tracker on. It's not doing a very good job tonight. It's trying, bless it, but it is struggling a little bit. Oh, there you go. There's the one track up here. If I zoom in,
mode
there we
activated.
go. And it's, oh wow, it's very faint, that object there. See, what we're doing is we're tracking these objects, their movement, and if they do something strange or something a man-made satellite can't do, it should go red, and we can pay more attention to it. Also, engage the magnet eyes, ladies and gents there. Sam is behind on multiple chats, very much so. Thank you, Kate, I do appreciate that. And Christopher as well, coming in with the gifts. Thank you very much for that. Said we're saving up to take the stream on the road at the minute, do a live UK UFO skywatching hotspot tour there. I'm still trying to work out how to use it all properly there, and I'm good with with tech, but when it's something new, I'm like, what is this and how to do it? Oh, Danny, 100%. If I'm left to my own devices, I'm kind of fine, but like it's like a new video game. If you're playing it with friends, I'm a nightmare because I'm like, what's this? Oh, it doesn't work. It's bloody frustrating. I'm a nightmare. Teddy as well, how are you doing? Good to see you in there. And oh, you're off to bed there, Tickers. Good night, guys. Hope you're all tucked in, and we'll see you another night there. And AFC, I brought one of those strong green lasers from China years ago, but never used it, as obviously you have to be very careful regarding the flights. AFC, I want one. I like kit. When I was younger in Essex, I did use them, but not here, but I'd really would like to do it. But yeah, here I think it's just too dodgy. This is a nice bright one. No excuse why that's not being tracked. Keep your eyes on it. We need to see it stop dead, shoot off at speed, changes course or trajectory. But yeah, hopefully the dog whistle can counteract that, basically. It will still be a way of us having some cause and effect, and we should actually as well, I can add this to it, that we could probably program in like messages in very simple forms, so if we did get a sighting we could communicate. Maybe that's an idea. I'll add that to it there. And Lethal as well, coming in with gifts. Thank you there, Lethal, as well, much appreciated. Where are we down there? Carl's, well, patience, how we get to comments. I will, guys, thank you, I do appreciate that. If you're new here, obviously you're not going to expect that, especially if you've been waiting 20 minutes for a comment, so I do get it, guys. But yeah, it does take me a while to read through them all there. And Tom, eventually you'll run into the red tube of light that streaks by cameras at about 18 seconds. And it's picked up on thermal, meaning it was in the atmosphere. Interesting. I would love to catch something like those ones. Baldy, how are you doing? Good to see you in. And Skinwalker Ranch has finally run into the red tube of light. Really? Again, I'm so far behind on that series though. And Daz Boot as well. I love the name there. How are you doing there? And Truth, all I know is that I have been capturing a lot of footage that is similar. The amount of things going on around the world, like this is the thing, we just don't look. But when you do start to look, no matter where you are, there are lots of things going on there. And Teddy, I once seen in 2009 in Iraq through night vision goggles, though my night vision goggles, you saw a UFO. That is pretty cool. Could you describe it? Because they do talk, don't they, that in the infrared part of the light spectrum, yeah, it is very, very active for the phenomena there. Thank you for sharing that one, Teddy. And man as well there, they're not letting us find out on purpose. I totally agree with that. Even the modern, more official releases, even if the result of that is going to be more of an acceptance, I don't think they're doing it voluntarily. I think they're doing it because they have to, because like we're all here tonight, we are connected now by the internet. We can share our experiences, share our stories, and the mainstream, there's nothing to see here. It's swamp gas, it's Venus, just isn't holding up. Too many people are having direct experiences themselves because of the technology there, or they're hearing somebody that they trust have that experience, whereas that just wasn't the case in the past. So their narrative isn't holding. So I think they're letting out as little as they possibly can to try and shore up the explanation so they're not on the back foot. But I think ultimately where this goes is to pretty much, I say full disclosure, but full acceptance of that there is this sort of stuff going on. I think they'll try and keep as much of it as secret as they can. Still there. Is it me or has the tube added more ads to the streams? Probably. Yeah, now getting high ads. Apparently I heard, ours are set down to low, but apparently I heard that YouTube does it based on individual tolerance, and they're always changing it. So they know how many ads that you kind of get sick of, and then they'll push it to its limits, which is a dick move. There, apologies for that one. And Kevin from Blackpool. We get a few from Blackpool, actually. Have you ever seen anything strange, Kevin? Welcome in there. And Mr. Blood, there, I'm seeing a weird meteor or a star flashing from my window. What do you think it could be? Very interesting. If you're convinced if you're conscious of the altitude that it is, the flashing is strange. It really does depend on what part of the night sky, but the only things that should be stationary up there, if it's from the same spot, you've got the stars that twinkle, but I'm sure you know what the stars are that twinkle. I'm sure you've seen those ones before. But if there's an object that's like a star that's flashing, it's like brighter, more distinctive there, nothing should be sitting still up there long enough to do it. The only things that are stationary are the man-made geostationary satellites. They're normally for your TV, and they sit around the equator, and they stay in the same place relative to us. That's why your dishes for your TV inside the house doesn't have to constantly move with them, because they're in the same place. But they're much rarer, and they're in a certain part of the sky. Thank you for the share there. So if you're confident you're not in that part of the sky, then that is very, very strange. In fact, we've had a sighting, a stationary flashing. Not very sexy, but it's been one of the strangest things that we have seen repeatedly as well. And man, as well there, the Essex South End as well. That's where we moved from. As well there. Oh, Jupiter could be a shout. So Jupiter doesn't flash though for those. So Jupiter for us on the stream, sadly it's gone round. We did have it earlier the years, but the planets in our solar system, because they're closer by and they're reflecting the light, unlike the stars, they're normally the ones that don't twinkle. That's normally your rule of thumb as a way of going, is it one of the planets there? Oh, to Norfolk, there's something strange in the sky. I've heard we are planning, obviously Suffolk, for me it's interchangeable. But yeah, we are planning doing our live on location there. And Robert Dosa as well, thank you for joining us there. Good evening. Just getting to your messages just now. And what's the red dot in D1, Lucy? Good spot in there. That is a dead pixel sadly on the camera. We've got another one in A3 as well. But good eyes with sometimes the stars and the colours of them, they do go that red as well. First time in your live, Kevin. I find it very interesting. Well, very welcome in there, Kevin. Good to have you in. Hopefully you're still in there waiting for a while for the message there. But good, very good to have you in. Where in the world are you joining us from? And Skinwalker has a new series. I still haven't done the first there. And Fab, they're off to Redemption Forest next week. Hey, Fab, you've got to let us know your experiences, because I didn't realise. I thought it was just the incident in the 80s there, but apparently no, it's one of the highly strange places. It is a very weird place, long history of folklore and strange events and stuff. So we want to hear more there. And Dean as well, what's happened to the tracker the last few days? It's been working well over the last few weeks. Dean, it really has, hasn't it? I'm glad you're sticking up for it there, but the last couple of days, it is having a bit of a fit. I'm trying to work it out as we go, but as you can see by the line that we're getting, that's a weird flash. This line that we get, see how it's not flowing smoothly. It's implying that there is some sort of processing ability there. You know what? Let me try some other things here. Let me try darkening the screen actually. Sorry guys, let me see if that's because maybe it's where it's clearer. It's got more targets to try and process. Let me turn that off. Right. See if that. No, it's still having a start. I'm going to have to inspect that one after the stream, but I think it's to do with the processing, basically. We'll put it back on. The actual tracker itself is struggling, and that's why it is crap. Check this out. Oh, I can't see that one, Truth, sadly. And I know you love the tracker, Raf, really. Side quest there. Get your cleverness to clip every time the shooting star clicker is used. So I could do. If somebody says shooting star in the chat, I could probably get that to do it automatically. If more than 3 people say it or something, then it will trigger it. 2 on TikTok and 2 on here, unless they come up. One on both. And Jack there, have you spotted any UFOs yet? Not tonight. Did we have any last night? I know we have had a couple recently of one-offs that are interesting, but I can't remember what we was doing last night actually. Not surprised he said it there. Red flashing in C2, Dan. I know I'm behind on that one, but let's see if we can see if that one happens again. And as it Donkey there, I was sat outside staring at the sky and saw lots of lights moving. Some would slow down and some would speed up. So that movement, if you're confident that it's not close enough to be a drone, that is very, very strange behaviour there. Because even sort of high altitude jet fighters, the moving and the slowing down, that's an odd formation for them to be in. How close are they? Because they do tend to be certain distances apart for safety. So if we're talking about satellites there, then they don't slow up and speed up and slow down. Once they're set on their speed, they're basically it until they start re-entering. Any changes to that, is so slow. It's over the course of many orbits, many passes there, so you wouldn't see that to the naked eye. It's a very interesting sign. Where in the world was it? Oh my god, we're just at those messages there. We're only at 23:15, so we're getting there. And wonder if you'll see what I've been capturing. Hopefully there. And the tubes is great for the view, but TikTok is better. It's a faster chat on the TikTok. But TikTok, guys, remember, you are missing out on the viewing experience. It looks like that over on the tubes. It's normally a more stable platform. There are ads, but hey. You see more of the sky, less of my face, and all sorts of other contextual data there. Angelo, Loch Lomondon, late to the party, how are you doing? You've been out on the town Friday night there. And it Course Cookies, how are you? Excuse me, from Hampshire, not far from us at all. Ever seen anything strange in the night sky there? And AFC there, sorry, I just had a short visit this evening, but I need to sleep as the meds are making it 100. You got to rest up, but very good to see you in there. I'm glad surgery's out the way for that. Have a great stream. Catch you later there. And the plough is very visible, so it's a little bit for us. It's over the light polluted part of town, so we can't really point the camera at it at the minute, which is a shame because there are lots of interesting stars in the plough. Oh, Raf, you got another one. Part-timer, exactly. Red Flash in A1 Jedi, good spot in there. From France, Nove, I love that. France is apparently very open to the UFO phenomena. Is that true? Are you guys much more open? I know the government has, officially recognised it for a long time. Have you ever seen anything strange yourself there? Anyone spotted a UFO by yourself yet? So, Jack, yeah, lots of people in the community have as well, and obviously us as an individual, I've spotted them on stream, but I've also, funnily enough, when I'm setting up the camera, seems to be like a peak time. Obviously, that time changes, but we've caught a couple for those ones. And Stuart, question please, open to the chat. Also, the solar flare activity is happening at the moment there. Is it a warning? Well, this is the question, isn't it there? Do we have enough contextual data to know if it is a warning, if it is out of line? The problem is we haven't really had a lot of that technology for a long time to record in detail the data. It's like a lot of the modern day stuff talking about climate and temperature. We don't have the level of detail monitoring. We can get estimates, we can get large overall sweeping sort of things as statements, but we can't get like the real precise analysis of stuff because it just wasn't recorded with the technology over time. So it could well be. I definitely want to err on the side of caution. I definitely think we should be a little bit more resilient to something like that. Love watching Patrick Moore. He was a legend. It's proper hatred, right? Solar activity, flare activity is pretty standard. The sun has irregular seasons. Well, it does, doesn't it? It goes through its periods, but wasn't like the period that it's in now. Lasted a bit longer of high activity or something. And Susie Q, how are we doing tonight? Good to see you there. And Dr. Downs there. How often do you see something unexplainable? Good question. So there's three versions of things that we find interesting on this stream. There's three levels. So level 1, which is the best, which is stopping dead, shooting off at speed, changing course or trajectory. That is the highly strange, cannot be explained away at these altitudes and stuff like that as anomalous. Full-on UFO. We've seen it over the year or so that we've been doing this, a handful of times, 4 or 5 times, something like that. Very rare, but we do see it. The middle ground of the one-offs, as we call them there, which is technically it's not doing something that a satellite or a man-made object couldn't do, but we've been doing it for a year and we're seeing how all of these objects look out of all of the seasons, and you go, wait a minute, I've not seen that before. Why have I? That's a weird one. We should see, if there's one satellite at one altitude, there's going to be more, so if it gives you a gut feeling of hello, there's something interesting. We see that quite commonly, and then there is obviously the one that you see pretty much every night there, which is that, oh, that's odd, but probably just for this stream, so very low end with it there. Just looked up to pay 55 for 100 gigabyte of our roaming. Oh, okay. That's not. I think that's probably what we were monthly we're looking at for the thing, because if we do it as like the pay-as-you-go one, then we can just do it for the months we need it and stuff there with the multi-channel. How much do you reckon we would use? I thought it was about 50 gig was what we'd use for doing 2 platform streaming. Defos do a spooky night. We've been meaning to for a while. We did one once actually when we first started doing the stream there, and it was very popular. But I have a rule of no ghosts in the house for it there as well. What programming language do we use to create the tracker? It's mostly JavaScript, I think, for this one at the second. But, it's probably working as good as my ability of skill is for it there. It's React, sorry, is the thing. And chats are very active tonight. They very, very are. We'll get to comments. Yeah, it's very, very busy tonight, which I love. And what is the purple one, please? No, that is Vega. That is a beautiful star. 26 light years from us here on Earth there. Burning much hotter and much brighter than our star, the sun. Won't last as long, but it is a beautiful companion for us here. Going to be scared when he comes up to visit me at Rendlesham. I am. That's just because you're going to be jumping out at me there. He will be awesome. And what part of the sky? We're basically directly up, Barry, from where we are here in Wiltshire. So yeah, pretty much directly up at the minute. I record him in 8K to see the tears and the brown stains, Liberty. And is there a website where I can see this screen, please? So YouTube is a good one. At the Thing UFO, you see it much bigger. But it's our camera. It's a live feed. It's coming in here, so you can't actually access any of this yourself. It's all of our kit for that one. So it's only when we're streaming, sadly. Can add the gnomes and the carrier bags to the Hall of Fame. It's my job to bring up the repeat. It is, Kate, it is. And Swansea, Welsh, I love that. Again, not too far from us there. Wales has a long history of the highly, highly strange. Time to break out the Maltesers. Oh, I need to snack. I have a cream cake in the fridge. I thought I'd treat myself to that after the stream. Tormenting you again there. Lightning, thunder, I don't know. It's a weird one. But the job to torment Sam. It's like passing it down there. J-Dog, how are you tonight there? I've seen 3 UFOs in person. They are real, but they are useless to us there. But they exist. I like that. It's an interesting way of doing it, you know. One thing is observing these things. The other is having any relationship with it. I mean, lots of people do report various forms of that, and I don't know what's ultimately true. And there's probably going to be degrees of truth, isn't there, across it? It'll be different situations. Different ETs, maybe. But we have to remember that, you know, the ants can't, you know, talk to us and borrow our car for a week, can they? And Neil there, will you be streaming on Wednesday night? The Percy, yes, I will be. We're on pretty much every night. Hopefully it's going to be a clear sky for us. I think it's due to at the minute. But yeah, pretty much every night, guys. So make sure you're following and subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because on every night, looking for evidence of the phenomena. If it's a clear sky, it's this. It's the UFO UAP Skywatch from Crop Circle Country here in the UK. And with all of the clear nights that we've got coming up for us with this heat wave, it's going to be pretty much every night. But on the occasional cloudy night, it's the alien radio signal hunt, where we search the hydrogen line, kind of like in the film Contact, listening out to hopefully hear ET say hello. It's where the wow signal is heard and where scientists think we are most likely to hear a message from ET. And if the moon's up and I can be bothered, it looks like this there. All the craters, all the details, it looks awesome, and sometimes we see something strange there as well. SW, thank you for the follow, good to have you in. Where are you joining us from tonight? Looked ominous there. Some of them do. It was a big one. Oh, is that a flasher coming in down here? Who are? Needs to do a jumper to the end. No, I would miss everybody's chats otherwise. It normally shuts down, quietens down. And Clovis, why waste your time on this? That's a really interesting question. I mean, you know, not necessarily politely worded, but it is an interesting question. So essentially, that is coming from your belief and your opinion that there is nothing to it. You know, and that would be the same as, you know, me saying to you, dig in my garden for treasure. You'd go, why would there be treasure there? Why would I expend the effort and the calories of digging in my garden for treasure? You know, this obviously phenomena for you hasn't proved fruitful. You know, or you've not seen anything that you feel is convincing enough to warrant doing it. And that is fine for you as an individual to do that. We have to make our own individual judgments, as we are individuals with different resources levels and all of that sort of stuff as well. But it's not crazy for other people to make a different decision, because everybody has different experiences, different knowledge, you know, access to different information, different education, and also different intelligence levels and things like that. Now, it's there tends to be 2 types of people in this world, and we can see this dichotomy playing out across multiple fronts. This isn't just the weird and the not weird as well, but you see this in business as well. You see you see, you know, your traditional businessman trying to push growth 4% for the next quarter, looking at the spreadsheets and all that sort of divisions like that. And then you have entrepreneurs, which is, you know, the opposite of that. It's high risk, high reward versus low risk, low reward. You know, again, it's the same disposition there. You've got treasure hunters and archaeologists there. They're both after fucking, you know, valuable shit in the ground, but one person, you know, is going to, you know, sit there with a little paintbrush, take 16 years to kind of uncover something, and now somebody else is going, right, that palm tree, shovel, let's go. You know, it's just a different way to attack the same problem with it there. So it isn't craziness there just because other people have, you know, different opinions on these things. If we all had different opinions, we wouldn't discover anything there. People at the time told Einstein to stop fucking around, you know, know. But he was right, wasn't he? There, you need people outside of your comfort zone to push these things. And they're coming from Andromeda there, Andy. May well be, if they can travel, I think, just a few stars across, then, then that technology would allow them to go much further. If warp drives are real, and again, they are real in the sense that they do not break physics. They do not break physics. Scientists have looked at this. Warp drive wormholes are real. We just don't have the energy to make one. And if you have a warp drive, then distance really isn't much of a problem like that at all. Andromeda is a whole other galaxy, guys. So we're in the Milky Way, and all these other stars that we're seeing tonight, they're basically our stars in our galaxy in the neighbourhood. But we can actually see Andromeda sometimes. Might spin the camera around and see if we can see it. It looks like a star, but smudged. But it's a whole other galaxy with billions of other stars there. It's a good one there, Lucy, yeah. And Neil there, thanks, I'm new and a bit late to the party, and this is great. Thank you, Neil, do appreciate that. Oh my god, this chair, I'm getting used to a new office chair, guys, and it's one of those ones that will tilt back on its own, and I nearly die. But yeah, thank you. Hopefully you're still around there waiting for the reply. Good to have you in. Where in the world are you from? And where are we? Down here as well, the Spanner Man. 83CJ as well there. And where is the UFO? Well, this is what, it's a hunt, guys. You've got to pay attention. We've got to look out. We've got to follow these objects across the screen. And we need to, why did it get that star? But it didn't get this moving object here. Let's take this one. We need to observe, we need to pay attention to all of these objects. And we need to see if they stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. Because that is how we know for sure. Is this in got one? That it, all of that is a slow one, and this is why the tracker is useful, guys. Okay, it's missing a lot of good ones, but I would have never have seen one, how faint and how slow that is. But we need to see them stop dead, shoot off speed, change their course or trajectory. That is what we're looking out for tonight. If you call out the grid numbers in the chat, A2, for example, or something along those lines, that will then highlight the boxes as you're seeing popping up there, hopefully drawing my eye to it, and we can zoom in on the good stuff. One day when you were absent, Lib identified you as the Spanner. Oh, yes. Is it Clovis there? Twinkle, twinkle, a little skunk. How I wonder if you're drunk. See, this is the problem, Clovis, there. Everything that you can't imagine a worldview for is wrong. And you see this a lot of the time. People come in and go, oh my God, you're scamming, you're lying. And because they can't imagine a world where people come to different conclusions to the same information. And that, for me, that's not the same as actually coming to the different conclusions. That's fair enough, and it's important that we all do that. It's important that we all actually process these things and have different. That is how we learn, how we grow, because we're not always right. Oh, TikTok's having a sulk. Wait for that one to sort its shit out. So there we go. Hopefully we're back there, TikTok. But yeah, that is how we come to different conclusions. You need people to do that. But the idea that you cannot conceive of it. Who was I watching? As it is one of these debunkers on Ancient History, and they're interviewing it. And legitimately, he was calling everybody a scammer and a grifter. And it's like, no, people genuinely believe this, and whether they're right or not isn't in the question. But the fact that your worldview is so small that you have to just be a con artist to believe in something like that. Or in your case, you have to be drunk, or probably crazy would be the next one for it there. That's just, the problem is that's just showing you how small-minded, it's a bit of a window on the individual for that one. It's totally fine to be skeptical, and totally fine that, and again, any specific theory, love to have the conversation around that, but not be able to handle or even conceive that other people could come to other ideas without there being a deficiency. That's a bit of an own goal. And Liberty, you can hit the naughty ones with a spanner, exactly there. And 83 CJ there. What are the satellites that move across the sky? So yeah, basically a lot of these are going to be man-made satellites. There's Starlink, your spy satellites, all that sort of stuff there as well. But also there is a history well before man had satellites up there, and they were recorded in the photographic plates from various observatories. There are what we're seeing tonight, not to the same numbers, but these objects reflecting the sunlight back down to us up there, which we don't have an explanation for currently. Well before man had satellites up there, and it's evidenced, it's scientifically peer-reviewed, multiple papers now. The evidence is out there that there is something up there. Now, what that is it ET coming from a distant planet? Can't say that for sure, but what is it? It implies that we need to look more. There's lots of what they call uncorrelated targets. Lots of things that are up there that they track. They don't know what they are or where they've come from. And it's a miracle I've had you on the tubes for an hour with no adverts. Drewski, there we go. No more complaints on the big TV. So this is the thing. And that actually might be the get of it, guys, because I know YouTube are pushing YouTube TV quite hard. So they probably do minimize the adverts to encourage people to do it on the TV. But that's the pro move, guys. The YouTube on the TV, the big one. And then on the chat, and your phones there as well. I am still very far behind the chat, guys, but do say hello. Let us know we're watching from tonight. Ask away any questions. No silly questions here at all, and we want to hear from you all. 25 light years to go. Exactly, Raf. What are you? 23:37. That one came in, and oh my God, yeah. So we're still 20 minutes behind in the chat there. Waiting to visit. Dark art looked better there. It's hard to tell. I see. Sometimes I have it up a bit brighter because my big screen is a bit crapper. So I might turn it down. Might treat you there. And it's hesitant. It's the processing. I think it is. And Jack there. What are the satellites that are solid and go across the sky? So again, we don't know specifically, but most of them statistically will be man-made. So again, you things like your Starlink and all of that jazz there. This track was all it really was there. Yeah, it's not having. I've still left it on, but it's not having a good one. I have to do some investigation on that tonight. There, you jinxed yourself there. You got a 3-second advert. Tall Paul there. It's asking for trouble though. Everyone will just be shouting shooting stars, or would that be me? Well, actually, Paul, they probably would. I'll put in filters. I'll put in like a time limit on it if I do it there. And watch the scanner guy, 1968. There, he catches some weird stuff in the sky. That name rings a bell. Drop there. Thank you for shouting that one out. I'm going to check those ones out there. See so many. There are a lot of them up there. I didn't realise how many. First time putting the camera on, getting the settings right, I was blown away. I thought it was the invasion there, but yeah, no, lots of man-made stuff up there. And Liberty there, honestly, the last time I put my telescope pointing at the stars, it was photo-bombed by a Starlink. Was it really? Even like that during those weather ones, during the winter, sorry. Drewski, I know that's why I have you on the big screen on the tube and TikTok on the phone. The pro move. Where are we? Down here as well. The plough sits directly over Lee on the Solent in Hampshire, which is where I am there. That must be quite a good shot just over the water like that as well. Showing your age there. Where are we down here as well? Danny, what's the weirdest things you've seen? So, there was once this big bright orange orb, like fire orange, come across the screen really, really fast. But it was too fast to be a satellite and too big, but too slow and no tail for it to be a shooting star. So I've got no idea what it is this day. We might have seen it the other week as well. Might have had a second instant of it there. But it really does remind you of the orbs sightings that people talk about there. We've had a triangle formation. Now there is a triangular satellite formation, 3 white dots essentially flying around up there, but which we've seen multiple times. But this one the triangle seemed to block out the stars behind it, implying it was a solid object there. So that was a really interesting one. What are the double stars in a D3? D3 for you is... good question. I don't know actually down there. One day we will get the tracker to two lined up together twice. Oh, really? When do we get the tracker to realise it there? Oh yeah, they've got out a view for you guys over on the TikTok. You do see more of the screen on the old tubes. Okay, it'll be Pete in the stag costume. Yeah, we've got to dress him up, haven't we, if it's going to be rutting season for the deer. Caught a few tonight there, big improvement for last night. Hey, you're getting the skills, Lucy. You're getting the skills. And greetings, Doug. How are you doing? Yeah, haven't seen Zen in a while. I hope they're okay. And physics there. What camera are you using? It's a very old Sony A7, I think. Nokia 3310, Raf. And as Drewsy says there, tap, chat. Do appreciate that, guys. It is the taps, the likes, the shares, all that stuff that helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we get on the odd phenomena, so the more we can all piece this puzzle together. You never know who's going to come in and what experience they're going to share. And cards. Sat here in bed eating fried chicken and watching this stream and loving life. Oh, that sound quite good, actually. Keep one eye on the outside. And Drop Bear, what do you think about the hypothesis that UFOs are visitors from our future? Drop Bear, I actually think that it could be a very big part of the phenomena. Like, ultimately, I don't think we have enough data to collapse it down into specifics from the outside. Maybe the governments have got access to things. I do lean that way. But if you had to put a gun to my head and I had to place a bet, I would say that the greys that people report are going to be us from the future. I'd also say that the orbs and things are probably going to be plasmoid, sentient plasma life forms that have been with us here the whole time. But I wouldn't say I'd write off everything else. The phenomena is really, really vast. And look, if there is going to be one extraterrestrial life form, there's going to be others. You know, you've got the dimensional component to this as well. That could be a plausible argument. It's not letting me enter the starship when I click and it comes out. Oh, 30403. I'll have to have a look at that one. If it's been over 24 hours, it should. Let me have a look now, actually, because we're getting closer on the messages. So let's have a look. Are you under as Danny something on there? Will I recognise you? On here. I might have to restart my own website. Yep, you should be there. I might need to refigure it. So, it should work now. It should, but I can't guarantee it. But that means you should also be on our Starship when we bring it up there. And we're in Cruiser. We're in Wiltshire. Warminster in Wiltshire, just down the road from Stone Henge. Right in the heart of Crop Circle Country. Wasting your time on TikTok, coming on something done like exactly. What compels you to do it? In his shed. Jedi has a shape eyes there. What's that? Go up doing the tracker. People's boxes are coming up before mine. Oh, really? Yours one should be coming through for those ones. And Cruiser as well. Somerset. You just down the road from us. We're right on the Somerset border. Have you ever seen anything strange when you've been lived there? I haven't lived here that long there. Tells me to... right. Hold on. That was... So if it's the link, that normally means our website hasn't caught up yet. So let's have a look here. Oh, actually, I should be able to do it on here. Let me have a look. Sorry, guys. Just want to make sure I do this one. It's meant to update daily. Yeah, question. Has it been 24 hours yet? Because then I'll know if it's an actual error with the website. I'm still going to... where are... there we go. Right. Let's refresh. Excuse me. When it loads... Yeah, okay, right. It should work for you now. And right, anal cavity. All viable answers, exactly, yeah. And Lucy, yeah, keep posting the location before me there. Thank you as well there. It has worked now. Excellent. Can almost play Connect Four. Actually, you could. On those slow winter nights, that's what we'll have to be doing, guys. The Maltesers, damn it, there. What, guys, do you think of the Dwarf mini scope? Amanda, I've heard good things. I haven't got hands-on experience of it. I know the Dwarf Free, if you can go to it, has a UFO hunting mode, which I do want to try. They don't want to give me one yet, though. Is there a convincing theory for if there's more than one... if there's more than one species visiting us, what's stopping at least one of them making contact? Well, maybe they have, Buffy. Lots of people do report encounters, don't they? Would they want to do it officially? Or, would they be doing their sample missions, and testing or, abducting us or whatever it might be? So maybe that is the thing that could be going on. I think if there's one, there's going to be more than one. Lethal, there is actually a button that you can do it in much quicker time, like a direct button that we can give you. I need to add, let me just add you over on here. How do I do that? It's not that one. Is it that one? Let me add you there. It's not loading it. I can't seem to add you as a thing on here, but... Oh, no, it is working now. Hold on, right. Could you, Kate, if you get a chance, could you message Lethal, the remote for the grid? Add. Yeah, there we go. Right, that should be added now, Lethal. Don't trust if it works. I'll have to do it on the tubes when you pop up over there next. Where are we down? I think aliens are related to me. We may all well be there as well. I mean, if the current thinking is that we all match. Sean, they're coming in with the. Sean NYC. Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? There. We may all well be related. Maybe that's how life started. If they do believe that we all came from one universal common ancestor here on Earth, why wouldn't that extend across the galaxy? Mother-in-law's an alien. A few people have said that. Maybe that's how they're infiltrating us there. Oh, he left ages ago. Oh, yeah, what with the behind on the chat? But, anybody else popping in? Trump is a replacement. YouTube offered you 2 months, 2 free months went to get and wanted money. What? Cheeky buggers. They do that though, don't they? They start you off by going, look at all these cool platforms, and then what they'll do is they'll release their paid version, and then they bully you into it with ads. Same with Netflix and Prime. You don't get the mid-rolls on the TV. I have uninterrupted besties screaming about it all the time. Yeah, maybe it's the TV thing that's the difference. And the way these stars are so predictable there, we can't be spinning in space. The stars seem to spin around. So it's really interesting, isn't it? Like over these distances as well, like because these ones are so far away. It's like when you're on the train, and like the further away in the distance those trees or the hills are, the slower they move. Because these are so drastically far away, it's slowly. Like the mind boggles with it, doesn't it, Drewski? But everything is meant to be in motion up there. You know, obviously we have us orbiting the sun. Moon orbits us, we orbit the sun, and the sun, our whole solar system is orbiting the galaxy. It's less of those circles, it's more this sort of twisting motion that the whole solar system is going through there. And ESLST, how are you doing there? I can see them in the sky and many other energies around me. Lots of people do report having these experiences there. What's the best one you've seen there? And Paul there, Premium sorts out all the ads there. It's well worth it. Actually, Paul, if you can, and not everybody can, same here. So, like, it is, what you get for it, it's very good for it. It is it's worth something. It's one of the things I don't resent paying for. If you are in a position to use the Brave to block them, Cruiser. I've heard about that one there. Using a telescope there, is that what we're looking at? No, so it's not actually a telescope. A lot of people think it is, but telescopes are like really zoomed in. So you get cracking shots of the moon and stars and things like that. But what we're doing, we don't know where the UFOs, where the action is going to be in the sky. So we want as wide a field of view as possible that we can still see the action. But, that way we can go, it's over there and we can zoom in. So we use like just a standard sort of, good photography camera. With a good lens there. And AI is alien technology. It is a program designed to learn and find out everything about Earth. Their satellites scan the entire planet and its layers. It's a Trojan program. It's a possibility. It is a possibility. There is an element of plausibility to it. I would not lie about that. I don't know if it's definite, but what a great way of doing it, guys. Transmitting the codes across, somebody then tries it, builds this, learns about it. Yeah, there's a plausibility to it, in the very least in the form of a good sci-fi film, but maybe there's more to it. It did seem to just suddenly come, didn't it, after years of discussion there. And I had people tell me I shouldn't have ads on the stream the other day there. We have to get paid somehow. I mean, if only we actually got paid a reasonable amount from the ads these days. It's gone right the way down, isn't it? Yeah, we set them down to low because we want people to be able to see the sky, really. But yeah, it's a lot, nothing's free in the world. And AI is alien technology. They're designed to learn. Oh, not that one as well. But it's interesting. Would a telescope be better than a camera? It would be for the super zoom, but not for the UFO spotting. It'd be great for if we had right now, could just zoom in on one of the stars we're looking at, like when we talk about Vega, or when we're doing the moon watches. But yeah, no, for the UFO hunting, your chances get increasingly lower, the smaller sky area that you're looking at. So I would like to have one that's like a B to switch to. And I see that the many stars are connecting to form a single being. From this, dragons and dinosaurs and lions and alien faces emerge. Oh, I'm not sure what we've seen with that one. Do you mean like as in the constellations? We still need the camera even with the telescope there. So could have a reducer and a full frame camera to make it wider. Oh, okay, yeah, because you do, don't you? Put a camera on the telescopes these days, don't you, as well? Yes. And Liam, how are you doing? Good to see you in. Where are you joining us from? And Danny there. Yeah, I've got you in now, so it's all working now. Thank you for that one. I'm scrolling for it, letting you in now. Perfect. I'm catching up on the chat, guys. I'm at midnight. I'm only 8 minutes behind now. We're going to catch up as it is slowing down. Could be a J-Dog, that could be a satellite. There is the problem with the limited data that we're getting, guys. It is so hard to tell. There are potentially lots of occasions when we are seeing ET flying from A to B, but we don't have the data, so we have to play it safe and go, probably just a man-made satellite. We are working on it, but you know, there are technical limitations. But that's why we were working it there. Paul, the Nordics too. I had an experience with them. Age 4. Wow. Decades later, I fully stand by the experience and was not sleep paralysis there. Somebody that's had sleep paralysis. Yeah, I think there can be some, you know, the real distinctions between that. You know, it's so easy to write these things off. It's like hallucinations as well. If you've had a hallucination versus not having a hallucination, you know, it's a good write-off, isn't it? It's like no, it's not just everything. Yeah. Have you shared the Nordic one? I know you've spoken about Nordics before, but have you shared that one before? Because if not, we'd love to hear it. Can't promise, but I might have a scope if I don't use it for the planes. Oh, well, Liberty. We're always open for those things there. Somebody very kindly did offer us a very good scope, actually, recently. We're just got to see how the budget goes with those things there. You keep missing them. Yeah, I think it all depends on how much lag there is between things as well. Looking forward to watching Disclosure Day. Have you not seen it yet, Adam? You got to let us know what you think. Oh, good use of the grid there. Thank you, Kate. Appreciate that. Vega is on the shift, very much so. So you can see it when you monitor Vega going across the night sky. If you play back the stream, you scrub through it, you do see the background moving very, very slowly there. But it's almost, you know, to the eye, it's almost imperceptible. And trading cards there. Do you think that there could be a connection between UFOs and cryptid sightings there? And I think there's a theory on Sasquatch being alien. I definitely think there could be a connection between the cryptids and stuff like that. Even if it is just in the very least the fact that whatever the science is that explains how all of that works could be the same. It's the same area that modern reductionist science has kind of ignored. Right, hold your hats. I'm going to spin the camera if it works. See if we get Vega back